thanks for coming in. Let me know if you can hear me. I usually got a fairly big delay just because my internet connection's not very good. Turn that music down a little bit more. We got a few questions to begin with, so let me go through the list. But I hope everyone's doing well. So just to begin with, do you ever put pens in your pencil sharpener? I don't, because I use mechanical pencils. Do you plan to continue the Inter-Sea Zones in any capacity? Yeah, absolutely. I love the Inter-Sea Zones. It is... Sorry, let me just fix this volume up a little bit more. I have to turn down a Chrome specifically. If it's too soft, again, let me know. So yeah, Inter-Sea Zones. Alright, I'm also going to be just doodling in the background while I talk, for at least for now. Yeah, there will be more Inter-Sea Zones, but I might have to rethink how I do them, because they unfortunately always tank my algorithm, which is kind of funny. It people like them, but then like it doesn't get the numbers, like whatever background numbers they want when it comes to like minutes watched and that, and then there's always like a couple of weeks before like I start getting views on my videos again. So I got no plans for a Christmas themed zones, but that would be cool. What else we got? I hope you've heard about Minbit. Yeah, Minbit's great. They got such a clean, slick style. They're really good. They were definitely someone I was looking at before I started this myself. Update on the TTRPG. Yeah, I've been working on it. I've done a lot of art for it, and I've done a lot of writing. At the moment, we're just waiting to hear back from some manufacturers about small stuff. That's the main reason I'm not talking about anything, because, like, you know, just gotta make sure that it's gonna... I'll be able to follow through with what we're trying to do. But early next year, you'll hear some stuff about that. But it is coming along, and should be good. What are your biggest sources of inspiration for your work? It has such a unique feeling regarding the contrast in setting and tone. My biggest inspiration is just making the media I want to see. So yeah, it's just stuff I want. Like I like. So yeah, it is just me bringing the media that I want into the world, and you know, there's a lot of my own like personal ideology that seeps through it all. Because I am kind of a calm person, so I do like apocalypses, and I like being calm in them, and I think that's a bit of a running theme. How does one art? You just do. You just practice. Which part of space am I from? I'm Milky Way, born and bred. Homegrown Milky Way hero. How much has your art improved over the last 10 years? A lot. I've been doing comic books for a little while, trying to do like comic book art and stuff, and I made a few books, but I didn't really make a career or any money doing it, so that was a big one. And then the last 2 years, I've been really animating on YouTube pretty hard, and like trying to learn how to animate, and that has improved my art a lot, because I've made so many small little things that I'm just constantly getting out of my comfort zone. So a lot, I guess, is the answer. Hello, hello, hello. Scrolling through. Your art style is reminiscent of Adult Swim. Yeah, like I love the original like old lineup. Like there's still like Adult Swim constantly does a lot of good stuff, but yeah, like Sea Lab, Brack Show, Space Ghost, and like all the little bumpers and cuts were always stuff I loved, and I feel that seeps into my work. I like a little bit of surrealness without justification. It's good. Are all Eldritch Beings afraid of the lightning rod? Only one is. I know that much. Do I like the color chartreuse? I certainly do. Any more big guys on the horizon? There is always big guys on the horizon. You just gotta look for them. That was very cheesy. Hello, I love your work. Just curious, do you have any plan to expand the arc with Salinthal? Yes. I don't know how exactly at this point. I he, Silenthal's really outgrown the shorts format. I'd like to do it bigger, but so I don't have exact plans at the moment. It would be nice if I could get some studio help and funding and do something really cool. So that's a very small possibility, but I still might do shorts with Pinky Guard, but just got a few other things on my plate right this moment, but yeah. What's your favorite part of the art process? Making it, I guess. I like sketching too. I like finding forms and shapes, so like, obviously I just drew the Pinky Guard here, but like, I don't know, you draw a nose, draw like some sort of lip, give a chin, and you're like, you find something in there. You find a character or whatever. I like exploring when it comes to the art process, I guess. What is my favorite drawing and least favorite drawing that I've made? Least favorite was probably like shunned to the back of my mind. I can't think of it because I do a lot of, I don't know, there's lots of throwaway stuff, and I don't know, I guess I don't really have a least favorite. As for favorite, it changes. It kind of changes with the times. I feel like once I like kind of have a breakthrough and I really like it, like with backgrounds and stuff, that'll be my favorite. I've done a piece for the TTRPG that's probably my favorite at the moment, so that's something you can see in the future. But yeah, but I love all my stuff. Why don't my eyes face the same direction? You gotta be looking out for the ops 24/7. You never know when they're gonna get you. Where do my characters take place? They're all in their own little worlds. Yeah, it's just where they are is where they take place. How do you come up with your short ideas, like the Hazmat guys, or after the Collapse Society videos? I want to do stuff like you and really enjoy and anticipate every single one of your posts. Oh, thank you very much. How do I come up with them? There's a few different ways. Like, with my animated shorts, there's always one thing in the short that I was trying to achieve. Like, do one thing really well. And, like, with When Society Collapsed, that one was just like, what if the world fell apart, but you were fine? What would you do? And, like, you know, it's like, the resources are out there, and maybe they're destroyed, maybe they're wrecked, maybe they're all water damaged, but like, are you gonna look? Are you gonna try? Like, and that's it. Like, it's just an autonomy of your own time, and that's like where that one comes from. Well, like the Pinky Guard came a little bit first from visuals, because I really wanted to do some like regeneration, and I was exploring that space, and that's sort of how I came up with the Pinky Guard. Where's that music come from? The music I'm playing right now is just YouTube free stuff. I know there's like people who've made stuff that's royalty free. That's probably a bit better, but it's very easy. I just open up a browser and press play, and I won't get copyright struck or anything like that. So that's where that comes from. For the animations, a lot of that comes from Humble Bundle. I grab game developer music packs. And I can be a bit slack sometimes, not because people will ask where the music, like the specific music, comes from, and it's I'm just a bit slack because I gotta like look up which which developer designed this song and stuff like that. Like the Pinky Guard, when Salinthal regenerates, that is a kind of just a generic synthwave track that I found that I quite liked. So it just had like an upbeat tune. So hopefully that doesn't take too much of like the magic away of me figuring out where and how to put things in. Yeah. Where can we find your comics? LukeHumphreys.Gumroad. But they're all kind of autobiographical stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've had family members commit suicide, so there's a lot of that sort of subject matter. So it is it's the same ideology that you'll find in my animations, but it's a lot more of a serious tone. So that may or may not appeal to you. Favorite comic? Oh, that's a really good question. Like, Sorry, I had to have a little think there. Mouse meant a lot when I was growing up. That kind of like fired off a few things in my brain. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Weirdly, Understanding Comics is still one comic I really like because it just, I don't know, it touches on perception, which I quite like. So I might say that for now, but I feel there's a better answer. I just don't have it. What's your favorite video you've made? Maybe Duck Girl. I really like the Duck Girl animation. I like a lot of them though, so I am a fan of me, so it's all good. Good evening from the Netherlands. Practicing with Blender. Good luck to you. I have a little bit of Blender knowledge, and I want to get on that grease pencil. Just need time. I have Model Putty. Can I make a model of the fire thrower? Yeah, absolutely. With all my stuff, as long as you're not like making money off my stuff, do whatever with it. I don't care. Yeah, like, as long as you're not monetizing my work, make whatever you want. I don't mind. That's why I put all the videos up there for people to dub if they want. But yeah, go for it. And tag me if you do, because I'd love to see it. Hey, the red guys in the Picket Guard Union, I would think the union would want them to have good gear instead of them needing to pay for their own stuff. Yeah, they're in the union. I guess I really haven't gone too deep because I don't think that would be a fun animation. But obviously the union and the corporation are a little bit at ends, and the red aren't getting great stuff. But unlike a real union job, they have less bargaining power because if they decide to go on strike, then Salinthal would get out. Obviously, that doesn't matter too much at the moment. Yeah. Are there any others like more Eldritch being? Yes. Could a transmission from Silenthal's series of him warning other cosmic entities of things on Earth that scare him? You have to wait, I guess, for that one. Sorry. What caused the end of the world in the series? So I want to make an animation about it at some point, but I've said this in the past too, where it's like a lot of the When Society Collapsed videos are kind of like they kind of feel good and positive. Not all of them, but if I did a video explaining what happened, it would involve a lot of people dying, and I don't really want to do like, and then X amount of the population was gone, and then like have a little piano riff and like find the melancholy in that. But honestly, no one really knows in that world, and I'll explore that a bit in a video. But it's meant to be like a very slow decline, and some places would be better off than others. But yeah, well, it'll get into it eventually. Salinthal is still on Earth. He's up to something. Oh, hey, Malcolm. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, you're good, man. Like I put it out whenever you want. I'm not stressed. Oh, Tothro, thank you as well. All right, I'm a pretty clunky streamer, so bear with me if I'm a bit slow. The Noseman does look like the Chad meme, bit of a Squidward. I can't draw, so how should I draw? Copy, plagiarize, thieve. Look at the greats and draw what they drew, and then follow their path, and you'll find your way. Honestly, that's like how most of us do it when we're young. We We draw Goku. Actually, let's see if I can bust out a Goku from memory. This was... Because he had the squared off chin. Then it like... It was like kind of crowned in. Like these triangle type eyebrows. Not that much, but... Had a nose like that. Like doing... Okay, so these eyes are wrong, but I don't know why they're wrong. And then, how would the hair go? It's like... Ooh, something like that. What did I get wrong? Okay, there's legit Goku. Oh yeah, Toriyama would always kind of like bring the eyes in, which is sort of part of it. Oop. But yeah, plagiarize to learn. Goku. Thank you for the nice words, everyone. What's the picky guard like under the mask? Very boring. I'm scared to reveal it now because it would just be a guy. I don't think there'd be anything satisfying. But if the story branches out more, I think I'd have to show his face. Oh, is it Handsome Squidward? It's basically Handsome Squidward. What's the Pinky Guard's favorite movie? Let's say Akira. The CCRPG, is there a place where I can pre-order? No, it will be done through a Kickstarter. Mostly because like I'm working with a company and it's like they're putting some faith into me, so the Kickstarter is just sort of like a guarantee that they won't print out a bunch of stuff and lose money. But there'll be a Kickstarter, and I'm sure I will flood my social medias with it, telling people. So don't stress. Oh, and if there'll be a thing out early next year where you can like submit an email and get updates. But yeah. Any laptop or iPad recommendations for a graphic design major student? I still use the desktop Cintiq. That's my go-to. I know plenty of people use iPad and they work really well in that ecosystem. But for me, I'm just used to the Cintiq, and I paid like $2,000 for this thing back in the day, and I know there's more affordable things, but yeah. Sorry, I don't have a great answer for that one. Are there any existing or upcoming animated shows you want to work on? My own is kind of the only one I want. Which is a little selfish, but it's like, I don't want to go storyboard someone else's thing. I just want to do my own ideas. And if I don't get a show and I'm just doing my own stuff on YouTube, then I'm happy with that. I gotta get the ideas out of my head. That's the only reason I develop these skills. But I would love to do a Smiling Friends thing. That would be so cool. Even though I don't think I have quite the aesthetic that they would want. But yeah. Do I know how much I like your animation, story, and drawings? A lot. Well, I know now. Thank you so much. I don't think you're reading YouTube. I am. I'm just very slow. Regarding the into-C zones and others, do you draw doodle first or write the script first, then draw images to match? It is all over the place. Sometimes I start with the script and then I draw to that. Sometimes, like, I just got a vague, like, there's going to be a confrontation and then I'll animate it and then figure out the words later. Like, there is Just whatever I'm finding interesting is what I lead with. So yeah, can lead visually first, can lead script wise first, but sometimes it's just like a vibe I'm chasing. Um, like I did the Puppetito in the Bog recently, and that was, I wanted a big clunky character coming out of the mist, and that was all I wanted to begin with, and then I slowly found it all. So that wasn't even a Puppetito story to begin with, but he's the only one who could fit the bill, and I want to do more of him. He's cool. Yeah, sorry, Bishop. I'm slow, and I'm sure you sent this like 10 minutes ago, but yeah, I'm just working my way through all the questions. Thanks for getting me into Good Kid. Yeah, they're good. I actually did their animation because they contacted me and they paid me $300 to make that. So I was like, hey, I'll do that. Because I've been contacted by lots of brands and stuff, and it's like I don't want to advertise an app. I don't want to get paid $200 to make an animation to advertise an app. So when Good Kid contacted me, I was like, oh, fantastic, yeah, I can vibe with that for sure. Regarding art as a talent, what skills do you consider necessary and which ones do you consider aesthetic? I always struggle to define how accurate to anatomy my characters should be, and it annoys me. The annoying thing with visual, like just drawing any characters, is the better you are at anatomy, the better you're going to be at everything. It doesn't matter how simple and maybe like just simple your characters are, the better you are with really accurate anatomy helps a lot. But necessary, not at all. Like, you know, you look at the Rage comics, or the people who do the not that they're particularly good, but the nation globe things where they talk to each other, and I don't know, Denmark's yelling at Finland or whatever it is. Or like, you don't, it's not necessary, you know. I feel with a lot of that stuff, you'll never be perfect at all of it, so just pick what you find interesting and develop that. And I don't know, just try and have an analytical mind when it comes to conveying information. Like, making it accessible to the audience is way more important than actual aesthetics. But yeah, I hope that kind of answers it. Favorite character that I've made? I like the cyberpunk guy I haven't done him for a while, but he's just really disillusioned in the world because he can't understand simple things and grammar. And I like that sort of riff on like the Blade Runner, Tears in the Rain. Like, what is this world? But it's just because he just misunderstands very simple things. Who do I choose? Bill Bingus or Bob Bingard? I think Bill Bingus. I really want to know where the music from A Photo a Day comes from. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna write it out, and I will link to wherever I got it from. This is my to-do list. And I'll throw this up on like Twitter or something. One of my social medias. How might you recommend how might start animating? If you can do comics, you can animate. I would say just do like a 3-panel comic and just turn that into an animation. So let's not do it on this layer. Let's do a new layer. So just picture a 3-panel comic, and you can just have Dingle here. And he's like, you know, I like cake. Whoa, and he's got a cake. And then, I have no idea where this joke is going, by the way. And you're gonna be like, hope no one eats it. And then panel 3 is him sad, and someone's eating his cake. And it's a wolf. A really bad looking wolf. Dang, he says. So if you could just come up with a 3-panel comic like that where there's some like joke, or it doesn't even, they don't even need to make it funny. You can do whatever you want. And then just basically do 2 frames for each panel and record some audio for the dialogue, and then learn a bit of basic video editing, and just slap them together and just play around with that space. Like, that's how I started. Like, I knew how to draw beforehand, I guess, but yeah, that you know, you just like animated storyboards basically, and then just go from there. And if you're super keen, you do YouTube tutorials. I don't really have anything to recommend, unfortunately, but just like, I don't know, if you're like, oh, how do I animate a walk cycle? You just Google it, and some kind soul has made a free thing to show you how, and that's it. That's how you sort of cut your teeth on it, and then you find where you want to explore from there. At least that's how I believe it. Does it take you long to think of such creative ideas? It varies. Some stuff like I feel gets nailed really quickly. Then other things are like, there's something there that I like, but I don't think it's enough, and it'll just sort of sit in the tank. Maybe for a couple of days, maybe for months, maybe even years. Like, I just don't touch it, and then it eventually comes back, and it's good. So it's just a range, and it's as long as you don't have to make the idea anytime soon. Yeah, just let it ferment until you think it's right. Yeah. In your video, when society collapsed, how exactly does society in that series collapse? Yeah, it's like a slow decline, but I'll make a video that fully gets into it. But no one knows for sure. There is always a little bit of uncertainty in the air. Yeah. Is there an overall message to your works or general optimistic themes? I feel there is. I don't really go out of my way to do it, but that's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Like, I like I don't know. I just like standing on your feet when anything happens, and that's just a vibe for me. It's like I don't know. In a movie, when a character like meets a walking skeleton, it's like, that's us. We're skeletons. So it's like, to me, it's always like, why not see what they're about? Are they sentient and stuff? I know that's silly, but that's kind of a lot of my stuff, where it's just like, there's a curiosity to our own entropy, I guess. That's that, yeah. As far as themes go, that's probably about it. Thank you for all the nice messages. Maybe other elder gods could come to Earth to help Synthal, and the guard has to fight them. There was a very early script where I thought about Silenthal's brother showing up, but it would have really driven the tone to just pure silly comedy, which is not a bad thing, but I don't think Pinky Guard needs a real serious tone in the world. So the brother doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. Have you seen Zootopia 2? No, I haven't. I don't watch too many. That's a lie. I will be watching Zootopia 2 eventually, but I haven't yet. I actually know nothing about it. I will watch it, and I will think of the abortion comic constantly. But yeah, I'm sure it's good. Do I know about the one? I do not. True. That's surprising. Most people hate their own art. It's true, but you just gotta love it, warts and all. Like, you know, it's. I always think, like, when you look back on your art, you see all the flaws in it. So even if you like made the most perfect thing in the world today, in a year or two, you're gonna see the flaws in it no matter what. So just love it for its flaws as soon as it comes out. So it's do you have a show Bible? And if you do, how do you make it? I don't actually have one right now, but I have made some in the past. I posted some on my Patreon a long time ago. But there are guides to show you how to make it, which are a lot better than I will ever be able to explain. But yeah, it's just like trying to do the elevated pitch, trying to just like convey the ideas you want to convey across. And also they're really fun to make. I love sort of making them when I have time. Yeah. Who wins, Puppetito of the Bog or Boyish Cute Knight? Okay, so none of this is in the animation, so there's no way anyone would pick up on it. But Puppetito is a guerrilla warfare guy. He's not too much about honor in the sense of like just doing what's right. But Boyish Cute Knight, he's like a weapons master, so he can do a lot of weapons. So he could handle Puppetito's Bonebreaker pretty well. I probably have to give it... I'll give it to Puppetito, but I think Boyish Cute Knight has a higher ceiling for the future. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am so behind on questions now. I'm sorry. You guys are talking quicker than I'm answering. Where are we at? She's auto-scrolling on me. Hello, what's your training education in visual arts? I really like your style and the way you explore random themes. I did 6 months of animation at a community college and dropped out. And outside of that, I didn't touch animation for years, and I just drew. But yeah, my education is mostly self-taught. Like even all the animation I've been doing the last 2 years, a lot of it is just me seeing something and then just trying to recreate it on my own. And then when I fail, then I look up a guide and see how like professionals do it. But yeah, it's my training style is mostly just exploratory, I guess. Yeah, the way the world ended is sort of an afterthought. The problem is it just like so I've said this before, but post-apocalyptic stories are a great way to criticize the modern day. So like, you know, if nuclear fallout is like, you know, it's like war is gonna be the death of us, which, hey, you never know. So like, I don't really want to do that, and zombies is its own society sort of thing. So it's just, it's a quiet death of a society for sure. It's still very dark, and yeah. But yeah, you are correct. Will all of my characters meet in the same video? Probably not. If they do, it'll be kind of a goofy gag. For the most part, just take the videos for what they are. The sequels ones, like they're generally not connected unless it's obvious. That being said, I don't mind crossing stuff over. Puppetito was his own thing, but he does exist in the Boyish Cute Knight or the Himbo Knights universe. But do not be waiting for everything to come together in some satisfying way, or for me to like release an official timeline or something like that. It's I'm exploring a lot with this, as I keep saying. So I don't have a big roadmap to bring it all together, and like with when society collapsed, I don't know. I feel like it would take a lot away from it if I suddenly, you know, it's like, and there were also mechs around, you know, so they probably won't be. I might put them all in the same video one day, but it would be a very silly gag if I did. What if you're bad at stealing? Yeah, just doesn't matter. Steal art. Like, never pass off something as your own if you're tracing it, but like it's not immoral to trace artwork. It's not immoral to copy the greats. We all stand on the shoulders of those before us. So, steal loud and proud. Just don't lie about it. That's it. I never thought I was going to see Goku in your style. I used to be able to do it in Toriyama style. Probably not, though, actually, because I was like a teenager. So, like, I'm sure whatever I thought was my best work then is not great now. I wish I had my sketchbooks or something, but I do not. Hey, I was wondering if you could draw a guy in a trench coat smoking a candy cane with a serious look. I'll do that. Don't give... Not too many art requests, though, because I won't be able to get to them all. Fortunately. After society collapse, it's better the viewer sort of makes up their own mind what caused things to go downhill, plus its charm in the way that people in the world make most of it. Yeah, I completely agree. I'll probably like do some point of views more than anything else to show how it happened. But ultimately, yeah, it's less about what was and more about what's going to be, I guess. I just bought a tablet recently, and every time I try to my cat headbutts my stylus. Any advice? You got to get a decoy stylus to throw them off. It is unfortunately the only answer. It's kind of funny that Son Goku is just what they call Son Wukong in Japan, and when the name got localized to Goku overseas, in the original French dub, he was called Sangoku. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is funny how like it is like such journey to the west to begin with, and then there's Frieza, and it kind of goes off in its own way and everything in Dragon Ball Z. Ooh. G'day, mate. Make the Pinky Guard look like you. I think I got enough mustache characters in my world. And I've also got Space Ocean Weird, where I've named the main character Lou, and I'm Luke. So I feel we're capped out for our self-inserts. Give this guy a bit of drill. Drawing with me? That's great. If you're on Twitter, Instagram, post it and tag me. I'll see what you drew alongside. That'd be cool. Do you use references for posting humanoids? Or what do you do to make poses? Not always, but sometimes for sure. I will take photos of myself. I will record myself. Like that's a great way. If you take a photo of your hand and you trace your hand, that's all your work. You have stolen nothing. That is your own body and your own. There's no art theft going on. That being said, Clip Studio does have some cool stuff. So you can actually. I love Clip Studio for drawing, but you can put these 3D models in, and then you can spin them around and stuff, and use that as a reference, and then you can be like, bring it, put a new layer in, and oh, here we go. But yeah, myself, all these 3 models are my main go-to, but you can see a pose in a movie and vibe off that as well. Any advice for traditional artists? Not really. You'll be stronger in the long run. I used to use a lot of ink and brush, and I feel that helped me run with my mistakes. Like, look at this candy cane I'm drawing. Like, what is this shape? It's nothing, but it's like it teaches you to carve out. So I don't really have traditional suggestions other than learning to roll with your mistakes. And if you can do that, you will become incredibly powerful. Where do you get your inspiration for your characters? If you do get inspiration, I don't know. Just characters I want to see. I like doing my best not to have sitcom sounding characters. I think that's my biggest pet peeve. If I have a character that goes I'm awkward or something like that, I think that would be upsetting to me. So inspiration for characters is just trying not to sound like a sitcom, and again, just making the stuff I want to see. You know, I'm making my own TV show that I want out there. Yeah. What app am I using to draw? Clip Studio Pro. It's not too bad. I know some of the mobile versions have some annoying subscription stuff going on, so definitely like look into it. But as for the PC one, it's really good. It comes with like lots of these brushes and stuff. Like if you ever like the clouds I do, I am cheating. I am. Like, the brushes are some of the main stuff. It doesn't have all the functions that Photoshop has, which is a little annoying, but for the most part it does. So, like, look at this. Look at this cloud brush. There's no... I'm not talented. There's no skill here. I'm just painting a cloud because it comes with it. Can't even remember what half of these are. Oh, yeah. Rain coming down out of the cloud. Because it's manga too, there's a lot of like trees and brush lines and stuff. But on the website you can look it up and they'll have all these different community made brushes too, which makes it pretty cool. This leaf one I use a lot. And that one's blending the foreground and the front and back color. So yeah, Clip Studio. Really good. Milk for a Thought, what's your favorite bread? I like a nice sourdough. Not even Raid Shadow Legends? If they paid me enough, I'd do it for sure. That's the problem. Half these places just like offer me like $200 and it's like, that's not even worth the labor of making it. Like that's, you know, I'm not gonna put a couple of days work in to do that and like, I don't know. But if I can avoid ever doing sponsorships, that'd be great. Would you be willing to make world guides to your settings for tabletop RPG use? I am trying. So, ideally, you'll see that. I mean, sorry, I get all like, well, what should or should not be talking about TTRPG? But yeah, there will be world guides in it for sure. Back in the Flash days, did you used to make Flash video games and videos? I did not, and I always kind of regretted it. Partly because I just didn't have access to a computer when I was younger. But I'm on Newgrounds now, and it's like, oh damn, I've gotten some daily awards and stuff. Like this is very much like my inner, like rewarding my inner child. Like stuff that I was like, oh damn, I missed the bus. I wish I tried doing Flash when I could, but. It's Newgrounds. Not that you would actually even mention Newgrounds, but Newgrounds is still there doing stuff. So yeah, I wish I just stuck into it. I got stuck into it and I learned it when I was younger. But yeah, no Flash experience, unfortunately. Will we get more of the Lunar City? People can't leave. Yeah, I think so. I definitely got a couple of loose scripts for that place. Yeah. Hey sir, just want to say thank you for your amazing animations. I bought me and my best friend so much joy. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, yeah, no problem. I like making them. Your favorite thing is to draw as monsters, and your second is to specifically giant monsters, but you keep forgetting to draw them. Well, they're not going anywhere. Yeah. This an indie animation? Nah, we're just doodling. I normally do like a map or something, like do more chat suggestion stuff, but I kind of wanted to answer some questions today, so I made it kind of easy on myself. Maybe it was a question, but tabletop game? Yeah, tabletop game is in the works, and I'll have a lot more information about that next year. Are you familiar with one supposed online comic, The Secret Knots? The Match the Voice? No, I am not aware of that. Where's my cool list? Cool. I will check that out. The cake is a lie. It's early 2000s. they do. Something I want to improve on is backgrounds and environments. Do you have any advice? Gradients. Gradients. Again, this is... I feel like I say this every stream, but this is an influence by... Mobius. I was going to say Morpheus. Jeez. So, he was big on gradients. So, let me just draw a mountain. And, like, just make it messy. Like, you can just get in there with all the detail. What an incredible mountain. And then... And this is specifically for digital, but like if you can still do it in more analog stuff, if you got the skills. It's like, okay, what a beautiful mountain. Now we want to put a gradient on it. I definitely go for these bluey grays to greeny grays. I kind of like them for mine. Foreground and background, and this is a clipping mask. But let's go the other way. And if you do that, it kind of fills it out in a nice way. And then put everything into a folder. And then put another clipping mask on top. And this time I'm doing a white gradient to transparency. I apologize if this makes no sense, but I hope the visuals come off. And then you can just sort of like tap it on the top. And that'll just give it a little... You can bring the opacity on that down too. And that'll just give it as a nice little snow-peaked mountain in a way. And like that is my go-to for a lot of backgrounds if I'm not super paying attention, because yeah, it just sends it off into the background. But like I'm not spending a lot of time figuring out colors. I'm not like putting in little trees and like having to come in and color the trunks and the leaves differently and stuff like that. It's just color block, gradient, messy, line art on top, and that's my go-to for a lot of backgrounds. Yeah. Have I used Blender? A little bit. I need to learn grease pencil. I want to make some cool grease pencil stuff. But yeah, I am very amateur with Blender. I've done stuff in the past too, where I will animate like a PNG sequence and then put that on a plane in Blender and then like move it around with the lights and stuff, and that can be some real nice visual effects. But at the moment, I prioritize like a quick pipeline to get stuff out. Yeah. Archidon Warrior, thank you so much. That's really kind. I'm glad I like the Intersea zones too, and that you're able to get something out of it. It's there's something nice about escaping, and like it's escaping to an indifferent, bigger world for sure. Yeah. Smiling Friends, I love Smiling Friends a lot. It's really it's really well done. Zach is the king of comedic timing as far as I'm concerned. He's an inspiration too, even though I think I'm a little bit older than him. But yeah, I like Smiling Friends. It knows what it is, and it's more sincere than a lot of shows, because it doesn't lie to you. It doesn't waste your time. It doesn't, it's like, even just the way the characters move quickly is not wasting your time. But it's silly in a way where it's like, we're not trying to manipulate you into like feeling for this character. It's like, not like when this, like the old Simpsons, like when it's like, oh, it's time to feel sorry for Homer for not being a good dad. But it's like, I don't know, it doesn't work in the full picture. So yeah, I like Smiling Friends. A lot of respect for them. Is there any art videos you regret creating or wish you could do again? No, I have no regrets, really. There's some that are stinkers. There's like a Zoom call, which was like the second or third short I made, and that I don't like that one at all, and I don't want to remake it, because it's just too, again, it's sitcom-y. It's very like, here's the joke setup, Um, and there's a bunch I'd love to remake, but there's just so much more value in making new stuff and progressing and that, and yeah. And also remaking stuff, that's for when I have resources. You know, it's like, could I redo the original Pinky Guide episodes much better now? For sure. But like, I'd rather only do that if there's like some sort of studio backing and there's like a huge jump, not just my own personal grievances with mistakes. So yeah, a lot I'd like to do again, but I'm not going to, and it's good. If you were in your own When Society Collapsed world, what would you do? I'd hang out with the librarians and crochet hats and mittens. Well, a lot of them are my own little power fantasies, like flying around, making maps, just creating a little media center, feeding people. But out of all of them, probably map making. I got a yearning to explore. That would probably be my go-to for sure. You binged everything I did in a day. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm up to animation 100, like just the short ones. I'm up to 180, which if they're on average 30 seconds, I've made a 90-minute movie in 2 years, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I can't imagine what sort of the whiplash is like when you go through the history of them. And they also get stinkier the further you go back, but I feel that's with anyone's huge library of work they've done over years. You go so far back that you're like, oh, they found their voice along the way. Confused where the messages come from. Yeah, I'm scrolled up. Just trying to get through them. Whoop, 1 sec, I lost my spot. I'm actually only on YouTube. My internet sucks, so I don't bother multi-streaming. So yeah, I'm far back in the chat. That's all it is. How do I pick colors? Sometimes so for color choices, what I do a lot if I don't have a good idea is I just pick 2 colors that I want to work with. Hang on, let me get this up. So one thing is I take photos a lot on my phone, and they're like of palettes of I just see in the real world, and that'll be it. But other times I'll just pick 2 colors, and then I'll just try and work on a spectrum between them. So it's like I got greens, and we'll just like accent with some of that, and then we can like play with the teals in between to highlight stuff. Like, if you're unsure, just pick 2 colors, and then just work between them. Yeah. Do I have a Discord? No. Because I do not want to moderate that, and you know, I am aware of a responsibility that it would be, and I do not have time to look after it. And like, I know I could get mods in, and mods could look after it, and then a mod plays up, and then I have to come in and like read messages and find out like who's been sending messages. Like, it's too much. I'm not doing a Discord. I'm sorry that I'm streaming while you're at work. The VODs go up, but they are pretty they're just chatting. Your animation's always optimistic when it comes to scenarios depicting them, even when they depict hopeless situations for humanity. That's refreshing, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's the reality we're all living, unfortunately. Like, you know, we're living in interesting times, so sometimes all you can control is yourself, and yep. If you could collab with one other creator, who would be the most excited to work with? Hideko Anno from Evangelion would obviously be my number one, though I wouldn't. I don't deserve that, and I wouldn't even know what that would be. But when it comes to like YouTube animators, I love Worthy Kids. That would be so cool. But I haven't done a lot of collabs. I'm still in my training arc. Do you like Pokemon? If so, you got a fave? Yeah, I show my age by being really into like first and second generation mostly. But my fave is Electabuzz. I always loved Electabuzz. It's silly, but I would give him all different elemental punches, and I felt like, oh, I've got all my bases covered. And I had Pokemon Red as my first one, and he was just a squat little guy who throws haymakers, and I loved it. But he's good. Other than that, I love Onix too. My team always has Scyther, Electabuzz, and Onix. Even though Onix really, really sucks in the games. He's always just a big defense guy. Yeah. What's your best advice for a person learning art? Don't have such an ego to think that you're so special that you're the only one with your interests. Like, it's so easy to be like, try and think of what other people want and then make that. But like, it's a kind of a dead end way to go. Like, and if you end up like in a job where you're like having to sell stuff, you're gonna be doing that anyway. So, my main advice for art is make what you want. If you want to do Dragon Ball Z with guns, do Dragon Ball Z with guns. Like, you'll find your passion, you'll last longer, and you'll find people who are interested in your stuff. Because again, yeah, you're not so special that you're the only one who thinks certain things are cool. You're not the only one at the party who likes Korean dramas. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, just make what you want. And you'll go far, for sure. We get more Pinky Cut? 100%. The plans aren't in place for how that works, but 100%. Stay curious, player. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. For really nice words. Is it true that every artist in their time has had to do some spicy art to make the money? No, I haven't. There was a time where I was like, I'd draw some spicy art to make bucks. It's better than working, like, I've always had day jobs. I've like drove forklifts and stuff. So there was a time where like I would do it, but I was too lazy to even make a spicy portfolio to show off what I can do. And I think the fact that I didn't have the passion to even do that really sold it. But, I feel like a lot of people who do spicy art, I hate saying that, but I know the YouTube algorithm will tank me if I say pornography. Oops. But, yeah, I feel like most people who do it want to be doing it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've also had people who've been like requested it a lot and they don't want to do it, but then they're just like, damn, I got bills. So I'm sure it's a mixed bag, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, no, I haven't done it myself. Have you ever heard or watched videos from the archive in between? I have since making it into C-Zones because I called it the spaces in between and everyone called me out for it. I was like, oops. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I love that sort of stuff. Have you seen Felix the Colgrave artist? No, I'm not too familiar with him. Hang on, let me put it on my list. Boop, boop, boop. I usually know a lot of the Oceanic animators, at least the independent ones, but there is more to know than can be known, I guess. Yeah. Is there a chance you can draw a gondola? Yeah, I'll throw one in. I don't know if there's a big gondola demand in my streams or if it's always you asking for gondolas. I love a gondola though. It's the widest thing about me for sure. Send me up the mountain. I want to look at the view. There we go. Little gondola. When did I start animating? Beginning of last year is when I started doing all my animated shorts. Because I got fired and I was unemployed, so I was like, let me dedicate time to it. I've been learning to animate probably for like 4 or 5 years now, but it was really, when you have full-time work and everything, it was really on the back burner. So I'll say 2 years seriously and probably 5 years all up. But I've been illustrating for a lot longer, so I haven't had to learn to draw while I animated, which is very convenient. Favorite background that I've made? It might be the 2:53 a.m. motel. That's the desert skies. Very nice. You need to make the Pinky Guard a show? I'd love to. I need resources. The regenerating one I did, that burnt me out pretty bad as far as like workload. Not in the traditional sense, like it's not like there was a mood downer, but I remember the day after I opened up Clip Studio and I just kind of sat there for an hour and I was like, time for a rest day. But yeah, Pinky Guard show would be incredible. What hobbies do you think that Pinky Guard, Nightshade, or any of the characters have outside of the main gag occupation? I personally like to think that Pinky Guard has a model train hobby. Yeah, I could definitely see that for Pinky. He's sort of a regular guy. He might be a bit more into Gundams than model trains, but yeah. Nightshade just trains the sword, basically. That's not no pun there, sorry. But yeah, no, he wants to be the best swordsman in the world, and he is not on track, that's for sure. What drawing app am I using? Clip Studio Pro. When you come up with stories, do you know in advance what ends up being a multi-parter, or do you just figure it out as I go? I kind of just figure it out as I go. Yeah. Like, Pinky Guard, I honestly didn't have a lot of plans for when I first made it. Like, that one does, like, set up a world, so I was definitely thinking about the world, but, like, I wasn't really... Originally, I wasn't planning to do any sequels, because it's like, well, I want to keep progressing, and, sequels, I feel, might make me a little stagnant, but I quickly just realized, like, wait a minute, where's this guy's ear? But yeah, I just quickly learned that, like, oh, you know, you can still, like, develop with sequels. You just got to find a way to do it and space it. Like, you know, Pinky Guard sat for a while because I was like, how do I open the world up a bit? And it's like, oh, let's. Everyone wants to know about the other hazmat suits, so let's get into them and what their place is in the world and why do they all sound like have the same voice from the same guy? But yeah. Yeah, so I don't really plan, like, okay, actually, to pull that back a bit, as a multi-parter, sometimes I think of a bigger world, and it's like, oh man, I want to tell this big story, but I don't have the time or the resources, so let's do a little short in that world. And then it's like, well, I guess I can keep going. We can drip the bigger story that I wish I could tell. But a lot of time I don't know if it's going to even be good when I start it. It might be a bit of a stinker, but yeah. Oh, I used to watch me on Twitch and the Imager. Damn, I forgot about the Imager thing. I used to post a couple of comics on Imager, and I got a little bit popular on there. But honestly, the comments were gross as hell. I hated the community there. It was like very judgmental in a weird way. So I didn't hang out there for too long. But man, yeah, thanks for hanging out for so long. Yeah, I've always been somewhere on the internet doing little things. Not gonna lie, out of any universe, Himba Notes is the universe I'm most intrigued by and would love to explore a video game. Do you have any universe you really want to explore in a different medium? Um, yeah, I mean, like Sploware Island, I would love to get that, actually do that game. That would be good. I'm gonna restart my music. But yeah, weirdly, like Pinky Guard could be a really good video game, but it could also be a fantastic friend slop game. Yeah, like Pinky Guard has classes. He's built for a fun game with friends for sure. Um, but yeah, hang out. No, I, I realize I can't say things, but hang out. Yeah, sorry. I'm not very good at public speaking. Writing a short story based on your Fallen World short. I think it was one of your best and wish you best of luck. Oh, thank you very much. Ooh, it's Morbin time. Uh, oh, okay. I don't know how to say his name, but Dido's grease pencil tutorial was pretty good for a hybrid style. I did that. I made my own little juice box off that, and it was cool. And then I that was the last thing I did. I need to go back to it, and they've upgraded the grease pencil a bunch too. And there's so many nice tutorials out there. So yeah, just gonna do that. When people ask what you do, what's your answer? I usually just say I'm unemployed, to be honest. Yeah, I got a haircut the other day. I mean, a couple of months ago, and they asked what I did, and I like just didn't say anything. I just sat there for a second, staring in a middle space, and I was like, YouTube, which is not even like that's not even embarrassing to say that. I don't know how to explain it to people, but I should just say I'm an animator. Though I do have a little imposter syndrome because like I've never worked in a studio, but yeah, I'm an animator. Have you ever considered getting a team to make more animations? Yes. So, yeah, I'll just drink some water. Have you ever considered getting a team to make more animations? Yes, but I'm making stuff in a bubble, and I love being creative. And what has dawned on me the last couple of months is like, all right, so my dream would be to make a full animated movie, and I write, storyboard, and direct it. However, a lot of it will be me managing people and not me just creatively digging into a piece of paper. And I don't want to be managing people, but I have to learn how to do that if I want to have bigger ideas. So, yes, I am keen to get people to help me and manage them, but I have to be ready to commit to, more time to that than actually making things, which is fine. But that's I'm delaying that for a bit. Like I'm just having too much fun making stuff in this space for now. So yeah, I feel it is inevitable. Do you have a favorite food sweet from grandma or mom? No. I returned from map drawing 2 months ago to suggest more crab. There's always room for crab. Get one going. Favorite fruit from childhood? It's Vegemite and avocado on toast, which is I hate being a cliche, but I am. It's yeah, Vegemite and avocado. Use Control Left to find your spot in chat when you lose it. Yeah, I do. I just once I start doing stuff like that, I just stop talking because I can't double things. But yeah. Cool. Oh, Big Flame did the RP picks and Swelling Friends. Oh, Be nice to get the email one day. Not that I'm waiting for it or anything, but yeah. Biggest inspiration for your Wasteland-esque animations? Just power fantasy. It's just like, what if it's honestly like just, well, what if you didn't have to pay taxes? It's just like, what if the world around you fell apart? It's like, really kind of like, because like, I don't know, the world demands you work and do all this stuff. Like, you know, you can't go into the woods and grow food and look after yourself. That's illegal. You will get arrested. Or it's like, it's just threatened to be taken away from you, sort of thing. But whatever. So, for me, yeah, it's just the power fantasy of time autonomy. That's where that comes from. What kind of music do I listen to? Oh man, I got bad taste. I've listened to the Jet Set Radio soundtrack so much. That's my go-to when I'm working. Yeah, I listen to a lot of generic stuff. I listen to a lot of vaporware just because, like, I don't know, I just like it. It's in the wind. And I'll listen, and like, I know how basic this makes me sound, but like, I will just go on YouTube and look up a Russian Duma playlist or something, like whatever vibe I'm in, and just find someone who's made a little playlist of that sort of thing and listen to it. So yeah, that's kind of what I listen to. Oh, I forgot I was doing a crab. What other creators on the internet have inspired you and your work? Alright, I'm not going to name anyone because I don't want to be a mean guy, but there's a lot of slop and bad, not specifically animators either, but like there are people very successful on like shorts and Instagram, and they make absolute trash. And I was looking at their stuff and it's like, oh well, I can do better than that. And I can guarantee everyone in this chat can do better than a lot of stuff that's out there. So it's like if they can do it, why not me? So I kind of went off topic there, but yeah, I have been inspired by people that I think are just doing the bare minimum to like appease algorithms and stuff. So they're an inspiration. But obviously, yeah, like Worthy Kids was a big one. You know, Zach and Chris O'Neill, like they're like, you know, they're doing stuff to the beat of their own drum. And again, like Worthy Kids, where it's like his humor doesn't come from like classic joke setups. Like a lot of his humor can come from the sweetness of the characters and that. And it's like, oh yeah, like you can just have your voice and make stuff and have an audience. So yeah, Vune on YouTube too. They're incredible. And there's a bunch of animators I'm probably forgetting, but yeah, for sure. When it comes to writing, I learned that if you try and write down what other people want to read, it never gets finished. Yeah, for sure. For sure. If you just try and please people, yeah, you'll either burn out or you'll make slop. Yeah. All right, let's put a cute little duck in. A lot of you guys seems to have a comforting vibe on some level. Is there a reason why you focus on that? Yeah, I just like it. It seems good. There's always going to be horrors in our life, so you gotta find what you can. And doesn't mean ignoring the horrors of the world, but it's you gotta find your comfort in it. And like even in a perfect world, we're all gonna die. It's all the planet will go eventually. Everything that was written down will probably disappear. So enjoy it while you're here. You're welcome for the gondola. Given the opportunity, would you design a character for Fortnite? Yeah. I think there was a time where it would have been like, no, like it's so, insincere of a medium, and it's like it's so cheesy, and like they just do all these like IP crossovers. But I don't know. They seem to embrace the fun of that, and I like Epic as a company suck. Like no respect to them, but I don't know. I'd put a cheesy guy into Fortnite. It's a fun time. It's somewhat of an accessible game for people. You sound Australian but attended an art expo in Toronto. Where are you from? I am from Australia and I live in Toronto. At least for now. So, I do Toronto things. So, and I have friends who do like Fan Expo and Comic Con. So I'm usually kicking it around there, even though I don't really table at a lot of the big pop culture ones. But yeah, I live in Toronto. Oh, I didn't know they were called gondola in English. Yeah, yeah. The boats are also called a gondola. Any plans to eventually make a video game or something? A lot of you have an amazing indie game. I don't. Maybe. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm doing the TTRPG at the moment, and I've been reading books on a lot of game design and storytelling in that way. So, like, yeah, that's just, life in general. You can't do everything. So, I don't know if my path forward is making video games or making a TV show or trying to make more of a polished movies. But right now I'm making a TTRPG and that feels pretty good, and I'm building skill sets, so video games are definitely possible. But I would be pretty anal with a video game, I feel. I feel like I would want some real specific stuff in it. Yeah. What was the last book I read? Oh, I guess I was just talking about it. I got it on the table here. Values at Play in Digital Games. And that one's really cool because it talks about ideology in games and like what people value, and it's kind of interesting because I haven't thought of a lot of that stuff where it's like you can't necessarily have players have the same value that you have in the game, and like some stuff's universal, like having good health is always universal. Like if you have a character and they got a health bar, you'll want to keep it topped up without much without too much in the game trying to convince you to fill it up. But other stuff like and like environmentalism, for example, may not necessarily come across the player. Like if you've got a option in the game to throw your rubbish on the ground, like people may not value that because just with the infrastructure of the game itself. So yeah, that's the last book I read. Was the giant robot a reference to Astro Boy? No, but it is 100% the same design. I when I made it, I was doing a little bit of just like, oh, what's like sort of like cliche robot, and I unintentionally am sitting on the designs and trademarks of the people before us. So yeah, I ripped it off, but I didn't mean to. Yeah. Sorry about that. If you were offered to get funding and a crew to turn one of your works into a fully animated show, which one would you choose, and what would you be willing to compromise if they asked you to change? So like I have put lots of thought into like working with studios, and I feel like there is an ideological, like, as long as you figure out what you want the show or the message to be, I feel like you can compromise as long as that's not compromised, yeah, so like with Pinky God, it's a little bit like what if you have these forces on both sides that are the uncomprehensible cosmic horror versus the comprehensible, sorry, man-made horror. Like as long as that keeps going, like I don't think I'd care if they'd be like, we need to see the character's eyes or something. Like I think there's room for compromise like that. Which, but the one I would choose would honestly depend what the studio can offer and like mediums and stuff. Like I could see Pinky Guard being a 3D thing and working well, but the Himbo Knights, no, they need that manga pulpy splotchy line art. I wouldn't separate them from that for anything. And I know you can do that with 3D as well, so there's probably a path there. But honestly, it's like different IPs have different like needs and wants and stuff, and you know, like when society collapsed, if they're like, all right, we can make it into a show, but then every episode you need an A story and a B story, and it turns into a sitcom, I'd feel like, you're just gonna melt the melancholy off the whole project, and I wouldn't want that. So, yeah. But if I could choose one, it'd probably be the Himbo Knights, because I'd love to do big quests and stuff. But honestly, any of them would be fun. Are there any zones which didn't make the cut for the Sea zones? It's one of my projects, and I need to know or I will explode. I think there was some that just weren't. I just didn't really get anywhere with them. Like they didn't quite get to a vibe. And there's still plenty that I want to do eventually. Like I try and do like a selection, like try and change them up. Like except for the Halloween ones, all had like at least a creep vibe to them. But yeah, there's a lot that are still just they need a bit more time in the oven. Yeah, no, I can't give anything concrete, unfortunately. But yeah. Also, another thing I was going to do into Z zones is the further you travel, the more things you start losing, like your touchstones to reality. So like life might start getting very different the further you head in a single direction. But that's for the future. Around what time did you start thinking of these ideas? Oh, forever. Some of my ideas are also just like the 5,000 chapter manga idea I had in high school, and then it's like, let me just pull one or two things I like from this, and then bring it into the modern day. But yeah, ideas from all times in my life. Headline: Luke Humphrey super pumped for Downfall of Humanity. Yeah, you can quote me on that. Wait, not humanity. Wait, I don't want humanity to go down. Just a lot of what it does. Did you actually play Dave the Diver? I played a little bit. I've been meaning to sit down and play it. I know Sploware and Dave have a lot of crossover, but completely different vibes. Man, the animated little cuts of like characters in Dave the Diver are so good. But yeah, I need to sit down and play it. I just don't have a lot of time for video games, unfortunately. But hopefully next year I'll have a bit of time. Ever play Pacific Drive? Yes, I love Pacific Drive. I think they did a really good job with that. I think the story was as deep as it needed to be for just driving around and that. But yeah, I liked it. One thing that goofed me up about that game though was I spent forever. I never let my battery die because then the car wouldn't run. At least that's what I assumed. You wouldn't be able to start it again. But the battery just powers the electrical things in the car, and that bothered me, that disconnect from reality in that way. But no, it was fantastic. Yeah. And like I've done a few like Pacific Northwest animations because yeah, that's a good location. Thank you. Honorous 2004, thank you so much. That's so kind. Luke, do you know Zach Gorman? Yes, I love Zach Gorman. I briefly met him at a comic convention once, though I doubt he'd know who I am. I think I just got something signed. But every time because I like Zelda, So whenever I think of a Zelda animation, it's a Zach Gorman thing. I can't help but rip him off. So like I don't really make any Zelda fan art stuff because it's just I think of his. And I love that one Donkey Kong comic he did, where it's just like a skeleton in the forest. One was wearing a tie, and the other one was wearing a shirt and a hat. And then you just see a chimp and gorilla silhouette, and then the tie and the hat and shirt is gone. Zach Gorman, really good. Magic the Gathering, I love it, but I got priced out of it a long time ago, unfortunately. I'll do a draft with friends every now and then, but like I don't collect. I got better things to do with my money, unfortunately, or fortunately. What specifically drew you to the comfy apocalypse genre? You're master of that vibe, and I long to live in that world. Just vibes I like. You know, there's something satisfying with things being over. You know, there's something satisfying about there's no plans in the works, and there's no plans for you in the works. So that's a lot of it, and I don't know. It's I wouldn't be too upset going out in a big bang in space, you know? Like, I don't know. There's comfortable ends to things. How do I plan the loops? I just kind of do. Sometimes they're just like a long... just like a long PNG that I drag across the screen. Let me pull up... this is from the 2:53 a.m. Motel, and you can see it's really zoomed out. And the way it works is this just loops, like the camera will just zoom in and scroll really. So yeah, it just goes across like that. So that's how I do a lot of my loops. Some of the trickier ones are honestly like you make a video. Oh, we're spinning it. And then you just... the last scene will have the last scene, and then I'll just have the audio for the start of the animation at the last scene, and then I just cut it off, put it at the front, and then it just kind of loops on its own. Like, it is not as technical or tricky as it might look. It is all pretty simple. But yeah, that's how I do the loops. How about you check out the design patterns of successful role-playing games? I have not. It is I do have that on my other list. But no, I will get on that because I've read some stuff about. I got like a gamification textbook and it's good, but I'm not finding much use out of it, so I should get onto that. Yeah. My question: out of all your little worlds, Fantasy Firethrower, Comfy, which one is your favorite? Sorry if this has been asked. I just joined. Yeah, favorite. Oh, that's... I kind of like the Comfy Apocalypse. I love them all, though, but maybe Comfy Apocalypse out the most. I feel like if you go to a different stream, I will just answer differently. So, yeah, they're all pretty good. Yeah. If you tell an expert, I'd absolutely buy some stuff. I should apply. I have friends who apply. They tell me the cutoff dates, and then I don't. A lot of them are really scummy, though. They're like, they make you pay for a table deposit, and then they let you know in like 6 months if you got it or not, and then you get a refund if you didn't. It's stuff. But I need to be more proactive with that. But I don't have a lot of merch or anything, so possibly in the future. Will there be more Pinky Card? Yes, absolutely. Are you still working on TTRPG? Yep, there'll be more information about that next year. Player urgency is certainly a thing that allows for unexpected gameplay. Even player health doesn't necessarily need to be full up if people are able to survive enough to get through. Yes, absolutely. Like that's a huge part of it. 100%. I was just wondering about the whole Salinthal, the Undyne story. Does the Nunchaku guy manage to like catch up with him after he runs away? No. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a big enough gate to keep up with the face of Salinthal, so no. TTRPGs coming along good. For playtesting? Ooh, I might do an open call. I don't know. I got some. I do have some people who are helping with playtesting, but I don't know. Maybe I should do an open call. But I'll keep in mind. That's a really good idea. Thank you for that. Would I ever release an art book? Maybe. I feel like I haven't done enough polished art in a while, so. Yeah, maybe. I'd like to, I think. Have you always preferred to make art for your original characters and world, and not for something like a fandom that you're part of a fan art? Yes, I love making my own stuff. I really don't want to do fan art. I really don't want to be working on other people's stuff. I do have skill in illustration, and I developed the skill to tell my own stories. That being said, like, I don't think doing fan art is bad, especially if you've got passion for it. Like, I've done fan art too. Like, I did Piccolo barbecuing out of the Gizzard Wastelands just to vibe it out. So, like, there's definitely a place for it, but I really want to do my own stuff. Like, you know, I know I could get a lot better for the algorithm if I did a lot of like parodies and things like that. But my goal end of the day is to get better at making stuff and to make stuff. So yeah, I have a passion for doing my own stuff, and I feel like it helps you develop everything a lot better. Because like if I did a bunch of Dragon Ball Z zines, which would be a lot of fun, I wouldn't be learning new storytelling stuff per se. But even that's a bit of a fallacy. Like, you could, if anyone's read the zine Smoku, like, you can do whatever you want with that sort of stuff. So, yeah, prefer to do my own, but there's no morals when it comes to doing one or the other. Yeah. I feel like one of the himbo knights could be CGI while everything else is animated. Yeah, just have a big rotating physical Ted rig. That'd be pretty cool. I do not love the Pinky Guard series, but I think mostly for the commentary on workers' rights and the apathy of administrations. Yeah, it's, yeah, you know, the uncomprehensible cosmic horror versus the comprehensible man-made horrors. And then you're on your boots in the middle. Ever thought of attending a game jam? The Toronto games community is pretty big, and they're a great way to get into games. I should. I've got some flyers here for some Toronto game stuff. I've just been a bit busy, but yeah, I really should. I've done some video game jams with friends. If someone can go find my itch.io account, I think it's just my name. You'll see 2 game jams I've worked on with friends, and that's fun because it's just like a 48-hour things. And I was mostly just illustrating, but I was doing a little bit of 3D. But like, I'd like to get more into that eventually. But a lot of my plate right now. Oh, thank you, Corrupt X Omega. So nice. Where do you get inspiration from? And what gives you inspiration? Just life, and like making things gives me more ideas to make other things. So I get a lot of inspiration from just exploring stuff and like putting things on the page. Yeah. Can you draw a cool fish? Okay, good night. You got it. Sunglasses equal cool. Favorite fruit? I like bananas and avocados, and I think they're both not fruit, maybe. But yeah, bananas and avocado I eat a lot, and a couple of like Royal Gala apples. I'm not into a lot of fruit. I love my veggies, but I'm not into much fruit. I don't know why. Oh, and mango. Of course. Do I like Louis' song? I do. I have a I have like a bit of jealousy towards him. It's there's too many like visually creative people who have the music gene. It's I find it frustrating. Both him and Toby Fox. I just admire them. I just look at them like you're double dipping. You can't have that much. You can't be across that. But yeah, Louis' song's great. Always like an album drop. Did I study philosophy? No. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm not particularly zen. I don't desire to be without desire. I don't mind desire. So, I don't know. I'm just here. Hey, I'm starting an art channel. Any tips? Yeah. Make what you want. And the passion will follow you. And yeah, again, don't have an ego so big to think that you're the only one that likes what you like. And do lots of small projects, because it'll be a lot easier and you'll be able to bite off and chew things, and when you make a stinker, you can just sort of send it and move on. So yeah, keep it very manageable. Have I ever seen or read The Giver? No, sorry, I have not. I had to probably say I love your art and the feeling I get inside when I watch your shorts. Ah, thank you. That's so nice. What's the hardest part of doing vids, or at least the part you like the least? It's just the labor. You know, I make below minimum wage when I work out how many hours I put into this stuff. So it's a lot. I have a lot of passion for it, and I'm very happy to do it, but I am also very aware of the mangaka men who work themselves to death. So while I love doing this, I cannot keep up this work pace forever, and I'm well aware of it. So that's probably the hardest thing. But for now, I am full of energy and gusto, so enjoying it while I can. But yeah, I'm jealous of everyone else who makes videos and records them and sends them in a minute or two, while I gotta burn like 12 to 18 hours usually on a video. Yeah. Who wins in a fight? Robotic Bigfoot or a two-headed T-Rex? T-Rex. Now, robotic King Bigfoot would have the size advantage, but a regular sized Bigfoot that's robotic, I think that the two-headed T-Rex gets it. Shirts or stickers of the worlds you have would be cool. There's probably going to be some of that in the TTRPG Kickstarter, even if you want to skip the TTRPG elements. But more details to come. How are you doing? What's anything you want to share with us? I'm doing good. Without going into details, I'm probably in one of the best positions I've been in a long time, because I am kind of like now doing. This will be my first year where I've lived off nothing but personal creative work. So yeah, I'm doing good. Something that for you guys to know. I don't know. I started watching The Chair Company. It's very funny. There's something. Do you have a plan for where the Dino Girl got her dino? There's rumors of a Hollow Earth, but she won't tell me, so I don't know. Am I okay with people making fan art of myself? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Do whatever you want with my guys. Like again, like I do the non-audio videos for a lot of stuff, so people can make their own dubs, but they can also just record their own script over my animations. I don't really care. But yeah, follow the passion, make what you want with my stuff. You're good. What made you move from Australia to Toronto? Was it to escape the aliens? I bet it was to escape the aliens. Just more creative opportunities over here. I live kind of a little bit rural in Australia, so like just nothing happened from where I grew up. So there's that. I hate the sun. I am a convict descendant. We are not meant to be in the tropics, so I like living where it's cold and I can hide from the sun. How would you change the world if you had unlimited power to do so? Uh, Man, I would love if everyone had housing, food, education, medicine, some sort of internet access, and then they can just do whatever they want with their time. That I would love that infrastructure. But if it's wishes, I should probably think bigger. But yeah, that's the thing I think about a lot, because we have the resources to do that now, but there's no plans to ever work towards it. So yeah, just make sure everyone's sorted, and then they can spend their days doing whatever they want. I think that would be incredible. Where do you come up with the ideas for your overarching stories? Just stuff I think's cool, usually. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's all over the place. Sometimes I want to see a character journey. Sometimes I want to see a world journey. Yeah, just what I want to see. What exactly is a Himbo Knight? Are they an order of knights or just the six we see in the shorts? And how do I become one? You basically have to work for the king. So the thing with the Himbo Knights is they do serve a monarchy, but they're kind of just dumb guys. So they don't fully get what's going on. So and that's why Papa Tito will never be a Himbo Knight. Sorry to say, because he's too self-actualized. But yeah, go talk to the king if you want to become a knight. Can you draw a spider pony? Is that a... What is it? Is a spider pony something I should know? Or do I need to make it? Damn, getting a quick Google is showing a lot of Spider-Man OCs. Alright, I'll figure it out. How do I grow a mustache? I turn non-binary over my lack of one. You gotta just let it suck for a while. You know, I always thought like, oh, it'll just get thicker as I get older, but you just you gotta live with the peach fuzz for a while, and it'll find its way. And make sure you trim it so it doesn't look disgusting, and that's it. And that's all good. And if you can't grow a big one, grow a thin little John Waters one, because that's cool as well. Spider pony. Before I forget. Can put the cool fish in an ice cube. Yeah. You cannot compare yourself to Toby Fox. That's a daily mantra. I think that needs to be framed and put up in a lot of people's houses. I'd love to have a soft apocalypse game of Lane It with your characters, Lady Gigantosaurus, and the Dogman. Yeah, it would be cool. The problem is, like, wouldn't be able to use like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering cards, so I'd have to like not only make off-brand versions of cards, but you'd have to make it for multiple different series. But yeah, I'd love that. I love man, this is I don't know what I'm doing with this Spider Pony. But I love a good old GBA trading card game where it's like you don't really build the best deck, you just like win cards and you try and mangle what you can. Inscription did a bit of that in Act 2, which was I really enjoyed. But yeah, a Lane It video game would be incredible. What's your favorite comfort movie or show? Mine goes back from Elemental or Kaiju movies. Mind Game, and Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Those are my comfort movies. They're definitely not perfect, but they're the movies that make me want to live. Yeah. Love you too, Juniper. Good night to people going to bed. Are you actually walled-eyed? No, I had a little bit of a lazy eye when I was a kid, but I had an eye patch for a bit, and she's all good. But I still love doing the goat stare in my drawings. What's your favorite animation you've made? And do you have any favorite? It won't be forever, but probably Silenthill Regenerating. I have never drawn so many frames in my life. So yeah, that's my favorite for now. Is there anyone named Carl in any of your works? If so, can you draw them? Unfortunately, there is not. Fellow Sun Hater. There's so many of us. Angry Spider Son. Yes, we can. What is the name of the species of peas? If you're talking about Nightshade, they're the Sprout Army from the Dewdrop Kingdom. They're kind of powerful, but they're also kind of really bad at what they do. But the Sprouts, they're cool. And Nightshade's full name is Sweet Pea Peabody. So Sweet Pea Peabody. Yeah, I read chat. I think I've almost caught up. Oh, there's a Spider Pony in Earthbound. Nice. I have not gone back to the Mother games in a long, long time. I've got the Mother and Mother 2 vinyls. They're, as far as records go, they're probably my favorite records. They're really good. What are some of your favorite artists and character artists? Yeah, Chris O'Neill, Zach Hadel, Worthy Kids, Voon. Yeah, they're the best. Yeah. Is there any ideas that you have really want to do or excited to do? I usually, if I'm excited for something, I just try and work on it. I'm really not for waiting until I'm good enough for it. But that being said, there's some like little romantic stuff that I've wanted to do, but I'm still. It's hard. It's new ground for me, so I'm still really chewing on how to approach that and with my voice. But yeah, you know, I like End of the World, and you see that in so many of my videos. So yeah, that's my usual go-to. Do you have reference sheets for your characters? I do not. That is, you'll see Pinky Guard is squished and squashed around, and there's been a few times where his pants have been different. Reference sheets is for when you have resources, is as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really have much resources, so I don't stress about it. Yeah. You mentioned being from rural Oz. I remember an amazing rural Oz artist that did flash tunes on early Newgrounds. One he did was about biking out too far and hitchhiking back as a teen. Oh, I might Google who that is. There was a few dudes who did some stuff like that, but I can't remember their names. And that doesn't ring a bell off the top of my head, but I'll have to do some digging. Yeah. Imagine the guy's not worth sweating over anymore, and there's, I don't know. You go to a tournament and someone's gonna drop a Dwight card on you. It's It's a whole beast now. Luke, have you watched Adventure Time? If so, could you draw a BMO? Yeah, let's see if I'll be doing it from memory, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's funny because when it was coming out, like I was, an adult, so I liked it, but I was like, damn, I wish they did longer stories. I wish I really want to sink my teeth into the Adventure Time world. They usually do like big sort of lore drops at the start and end of each season. But now there's all the spin-offs, and I haven't watched any of them. I need to go watch some Fiona and Cake and see what all the... was it like Wizard City or something? All the HBO Max type stuff. But, you know, Rebecca Sugar, Pendleton Ward, great stuff. Yeah. Love me some Adventure Time. Damn, was it like Game Boy buttons? I want to make the face a little smaller. A little BMO. Has people approached me to make stuff into a show? Yes, a lot. But unfortunately, I have too many of my own ideas I want to get through. So I apologize, but I will not be making other people's stories. At least not anytime soon. Yeah, I've had people being like, we wanna pitch a show and we want to do it in your art style. Do you want to like join us? And it's like, unfortunately not. Like I'm not going to invest my time telling someone else's story, which is kind of selfish, but it's also, it's so much labor and it's my life. So, you know, nothing to stress about, I guess is what I'm saying. What's something you keep in mind when you're designing a character? What do you want the character to do? So, Pinky Guard in particular, like, I decided that he could have some fun design stuff going on, but I had to keep him one color because it just makes it easier to animate him and like move him around and stuff. So that's one thing. But like with Boyish Cute Knight, for example, hang on, let me pull up the thing. Where did I save him? Yeah. There's a lot of design stuff going on, and it's like, okay, so I want to have a very pulpy character. I want a lot of chunk and stuff. So when I was designing him, I still wanted to have these blocked out colors to really help him hold his form. So I kept that in mind, but I also kept in mind that, like, making him move around is painful. It's a lot of work. So I can only get him to move... like, I gotta have a good purpose for it. So, like, that's what comes into design a lot, is like, what sort of functions that am I going to be doing? Outside of that too, it is just, you know, what do you want to convey with your characters? What do you want to get across? And, you know, just exploring it. I don't think it's a very good answer, but I don't know how to answer it, sorry. Is there anything you want to improve at? I was earlier, but I want to get better at background environments. Yes, so I definitely want to get better at more elegant stuff because I'm a chunky line guy. I like ugliness and like sort of a brutalist style. So I want to get better at elegance. I want to get better at softer stuff. And that's just with like the illustration. When it comes to animating, I have a very long road ahead of me. Like I want to be able to do some fight scenes. I want to be able to convey moving weight around in a really good way. So I have my own monsters to slay with that stuff. Yeah. Could I draw a Carl? Yeah, I'll throw a Carl in. What is Lady Giganosaurus Rex's favorite food? Ratatouille. Which doesn't have potato in it, which a lot of people like to point out. I know that, but I still did it. Yeah, let's add a Carl. Carl. Would I rather have wings or an extra set of arms? If the flying's easy, wings for sure. But I would love to be Machamp as well. Those are both winners, but probably wings. Is there space on the canvas for a teeny tiny mech? Absolutely. And an anatomical heart. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put these two together, I think. Have you ever thought of drawing or doodling a bunch of random stuff and posting it while trying to improv a story? Yeah. As someone pointed out earlier, I did some stuff on Imager a long time ago, and that was like a community-based storytelling thing. So I'd like to. I should just figure out the mechanics of it. Because I do love getting like audience stuff involved. I'll make this heart bigger. But yeah, because I do love improving. I do love riffing. So maybe I could do like a when people used to do the hourly comic day things, do something like that where I'm just like flowing through a story. But yeah, that would be cool. Have I ever drawn something first and created a story after? 100%, but as for doing that with an animation, I'm not sure. Let me just quickly look over them. Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely been times where I've wanted to do an environment first and then figured out the story. There's the Ava looking mech outside the 7-Eleven. There's like the mech graveyard where it's like I want it to be a happy War Machine graveyard and then figuring out the story retroactively. So environments I feel can sometimes come first when doing that stuff. Yeah. All right, let me get this mech with a heart done before I start doing these other requests. What is a song that you think is lame, but you can't help but sing to yourself on occasion? I only sing bangers, so let me think. I don't know. Like I was about to say like Big Bad Beetleborgs, but that's not lame. I don't know. I think the problem is I don't really have lame in my vocabulary. If something's dorking, I just like it. So, yeah, Big Bad Beetleborgs. What shot of yours means the most to you on an emotional level? I don't hit any personal nerves too much when I make these shorts because they do just go into the into the Instagram reels and feeds and stuff. The two people in like the spacesuits at the end of the world's ending. That's probably like the one that probably pulls on my heartstrings the most. Just two people who they succeeded at something and they're gonna die together, and they're just doing the fusion dance together at the end. Yeah. Alright. I'm running a bit short on space and time, so I'm going to do some quick. This is the flea wedding, and this is the fireball. Name for your chicken. She's an Indio, giant hen, super rev, and I would be honored if you named her. I'm stealing this name from my friend who has a toddler who named a chicken, Bon Bon. I just like it. I think it's such a cute name for a chicken, so I'm suggesting Bon Bon. I value those chunky lines. Wouldn't begrudge you for exploring more elegant line work. But I think the one thing chunky lines do is remind a novice artist to vary up line weight and a frequent oversight. Yes, I absolutely agree. But like, that's the advantage of learning things. It just gives you more skill sets and more to work with. Even if you like don't really apply it and use it, it gives you a little bit more knowledge. It puts a little something better in the tank. Like making something elegant instead of doing another chunky line artwork thing would be advantageous for me in the long run, even if what I make is stinkier than my regular work. How long does it take you to create a set of shorts, like into C zones, drawing, planning, research, and the whole process? Planning can be vague because I could be just thinking of the idea for weeks before it comes together. So planning can vary a lot, but for a lot of them, I try and do 12 hours max, so I'm not spending too much time on them. But a couple of them, like the Pinky Guards, usually take a little bit longer. I draw a little Nun by memory. So yeah, usually about 12 hours, sometimes a bit more. This is a very weird looking Nun. Oh, about the show thing, I meant people wanting to develop your ideas into full-blown TV shows. For example, writing a pilot script for the Pinky Guard. As a writer, I would love to write for you. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely, but I'm not there yet. But yeah, 100%, and I that is what I'm working towards eventually. Honestly, I want to care less when it comes to art and start drawing random one-off things. Any advice? Like what I'm doing right now, this is like the flow state stuff. Like this skeleton, this devil guy, this guy doing a little like squat thing. I don't know where they came from, and I don't know what they're doing. So honestly, if you can just get into a good scribble, and I do this when I'm watching movies sometimes too. Just have a pen and paper or the iPad, and I just yeah, just like follow lines and feel it out. That would be my advice to not caring. Yeah. Oh, I've seen animated collabs sometimes on YouTube. Have you ever participated in one of those? I did a El Dorado collab, and I don't know if it came out. I should actually double check that. But like a reanimated thing, and that's all I've done. And it was actually when I first started, so like I'm not particularly proud of the quality of it. But that's out there somewhere. But otherwise, yeah, I'd like to, but it's just I'm a bit busy and everything's just labor. Everything's just a lot of time and labor. But yes, I'd like to. Yeah, okay, so I don't exactly have the rules for laying it. The idea was that it is a little bit ambiguous and people will argue over it, how the rules work. So it doesn't really exist in a stable state. And the big problem again being, yeah, like there's no world where I can use these copyrighted cards in the game, unless it was just some sort of bootleg Ashcan thing. But I should flesh it out a bit more. People have, if you search for it, they've done like cross-play sort of stuff with different cards, and so it kind of already exists out there. Yeah. Do you think about making a board game or card game based off some of your shorts? Yeah. Well, there's obviously the TTRPG, which we've talked about, but yeah, I do have a card game I've been developing for a little while, and it's really not there. It's funny because it's the mechanics I like, but the player turns are just not fun. So yeah, eventually a board game would be cool too. But TTRPG is where the time and passion is getting poured into at the moment. What is your greatest ambition? I want to make an animated movie that I write, direct, and storyboard. That I feel is the biggest mountain I'd like to climb. I'd also like to own a house one day. That would also be a dream. What is the hardest thing about moving to Toronto? It's pretty expensive. It's very expensive. And cities can be a little bit isolating, but... And it's on the other side of the planet from where I was born, so... Yeah. Will you make more When Society Collapse? Yes, I actually got a couple little scripts that I'm slowly hammering out at the moment, so yes. Definitely some coming soon. The sketch competition would make a great Christmas card. Could you pick an existing character and create a polar opposite one? Please and thank you. Yeah. Let's open this up, actually. I think that it does it like that. Okay, let's shove you over. I'm gonna give this devil guy an opposite. Oh, cool. I finally caught up to the bottom of the chat. Good night to the people leaving. Thank you everyone so far. I'll still be drawing for a little bit. Hello, California. All right. We have circling nubs. I don't mind hearing my voice now, but an underrated anime called BNA. All right, let me write on the list, and if I like it, I'll do a reference to it. Let's see if we can get people on board. Favorite cryptid? Probably Yowie. The Australian sort of Bigfoot. That's a cool guy. I had all the Yowie chocolates growing up, so. Oh yeah, sorry. Someone before asked if I hated my voice. It says message retracted. I don't know if YouTube took that away, if you did, but I'm still going to answer the question. I used to hate my voice. Which, if you ever do some audio engineering and start doing your voice, I feel that's super common. I had this bad thing, which I still catch myself doing, where I'll say a line and then I'll just suck in air straight away afterwards. So it'll be like, they went to the park. And it's, oh, I hated it. So I've gotten better at it, but you get used to it. And then it's fine. And then you get more control over your voice once you start analyzing it. And the internet points out all the words I say wrong, which I didn't realize, but which is, it is what it is. The Australian Yowie does sound like Yowie, but it's a guy, not guys. Singular. The singular Yowie. Start the music. Was there a certain artist, art style, work, or art that drew inspiration when you first started developing your own style of art? Again, like Mobius, Jean Gerard, I can't remember his name, but just Google Mobius Illustrator and you'll find him. Yeah, he's definitely a big influence that really helped me develop my own style. Even though I was like tracing anime many years before all that. But yeah, he's the big one because he does a lot of surreal alien landscapes and stuff. Yeah. No, I have not played the game Voices of the Void. Do you like it? Comfort video game is the Super Nintendo Harvest Moon. Don't get me wrong, Stardew Valley is the superior game in every way, but all the farming sims just they don't have the vibe the original Harvest Moon has of the quiet town, and that 100% could just be the nostalgia because I played it when I was a kid, like when I was stealing ROMs. But yeah, that's my that's my go-to game because that encaptures the simple life element that a lot of these farming sims miss out on because they got to fill you with collections and gotchas and all this sort of stuff. But that one, that's my good one. If you have a personal address, I can mail you some Yowies through the toys are pretty ratty now. No, I unfortunately I don't have a public mailing address, but that would be cool. Yeah, but yeah, I used to love the Yowie chocolates. They're Australian Kinder Surprises for the non-Australians. Usually with Australian animals in it, yeah. How do you organize all the different projects and ideas? I have a little notepad that I take around with me and I write down everything. If you have there's been times I've had good ideas and I'm like, that's a banger, there's no way I'll forget it, and then I forget it and it'll haunt you forever. So I just have a little notebook and I just write down every idea, and I use that same notebook to flesh out scripts and stuff, and that's basically it. Your story reminds me of the crazy whimsy that came with 1970s and 80s sci-fi book covers. Yeah, I mean, that's an influence. Like, Mobius did a bunch of those, like, comic books back then and did those surreal scapes. So it's funny because, yeah, I am more influenced by the covers where I was like, oh, I wonder what the world was like in there. And then I'd think of it. And then a lot of times you'd read it and it wouldn't really pair up to what you were thinking. RimWorld's good. I have not even played since they've done like the full release of RimWorld because that is a up to 3 a.m. type of game. But yeah, RimWorld's great. Where did my avatar come from? I started getting subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, oh, let me quickly just draw something polished so it's the same across all my platforms. And that's where it came from. Little hat and name tag, we can do that. Muppets Treasure Island CD-ROM game? Oh, I'm not familiar with that. People often say this is the golden age of indie animation. As an animator, why do you think this is, considering how long animation takes to make, especially your own? Oh, I mean, just accessibility. Like, yeah, I am complaining about the labor that it takes, but like, I'm not churning through pages of paper. I don't need like one of those cameras and setups. Like I don't need to have a light box. I just have a computer. And further, like I'm a bit older. Like there are people just crushing it and all they've got is the iPad. Which is still an accessibility issue for some people, like don't get me wrong, but you do have the ability to do it. And you look at Glitch and Has-Been Hotel, and it's just like a studio wouldn't take the risk on Has-Been Hotel 10 years ago, like before 10 years ago and beyond, you know. So a lot more unique voices are coming out in animation. So yeah, I do agree that it is the golden age, even though the industry sucks so bad. All my animation friends who are animators with jobs are going through it right now. It is still the golden age of indie for sure. Has there been any progress on the TTRPG? Yep, but I won't really talk about it till next year once a lot of details are confirmed. When you first started out, I noticed you upload shorts almost every day. How did you manage to do it? I assume you had made them ahead, but I'd like some tips on how to do something like that more sustainably. I did not do it sustainably. I made them on the day, so I channeled a lot of spite. I was unemployed and I was getting unemployment benefits, and I was like, well, now's the time to try. So I gave myself a day deadline for those, and I worked really hard, and there was a lot of get up, animate until the evening, post it, go to bed, and do it again. So for sustainability, don't do that. It's rough, but I don't know. I've always had jobs eating up my time. I felt like I finally got a chance to fight, a chance in the arena, and I just wanted to give it all I can. And sometimes I still do animations in a day, but yeah, I don't know. I still recommend it if you've got it in you. Try doing an animation in a day, but otherwise, for sustainability, just keep the scope small. And if you're like me and you want to try a lot of things, just when you pick an animation to do, just pick one thing you want to do good with it. So if you just I really want to have a good environment, then don't worry about lip syncing, don't worry about a walk cycle, don't worry about what your characters are doing if you even have them. Just be I want to do a good environment in this one and make that your focus, and do it, post it, move on. Do I have any pets? No, because I move countries a lot, so I can never promise a pet a good life, unfortunately. I haven't had a pet in a long time, which sucks. But, I don't want to be a bad pet owner, so it's fine. My friends have pets, so. What do you think of this for an idea for a story? It's the world of Dune, but the Sandworms are just kind of chill and want to be friends. That would be dope. You know. I feel like there'd be a lot more umbrellas in that world. That'd be nice. Kyle looks like a sock puppet. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Farscape was good. I liked that growing up. They got to get a lot more surreal with it than a lot of other space shows, and again, being in Australia. Yeah. I haven't played Deltarune, unfortunately. Undertale is obviously very good, but yeah, I need to play Deltarune. I'm too jealous of Toby Fox. I am joking, but yeah, I gotta get on Deltarune. It's on the list. How long in hours can you just draw non-stop before your hand or sanity collapses? After 10 hours, it gets sloppy. I can do probably about 16 to 18 hours. It helps that I have such sketchy lines that my hand doesn't cramp up. If I'm doing lettering, though, I can only do an hour or two of lettering at a time because I gotta be really consistent. This is the worst brush to letter in, but yeah. Don't forget to hydrate. Yeah, I got my little cup of water here. Alright. What were some of your first shows, animations that inspired you before jumping animation yourself? I get the internet guys are the ones that inspired me to animate myself. Chris, Zach, Worthy Kids, Voon, Others I'm forgetting. But before that, like anime and Adult Swim were just like general inspirations for art. Which character that isn't you have you drawn that you most relate to? That's a thick question. I feel like no matter what, you tell on yourself with all art, so I feel like I can't help but them all carry a little bit of a Luke gene. I guess Lou from Space Station Weird. I guess he is a bit of a proxy for myself, but not really. So yeah, Lou unfortunately survives a lot. And I also unfortunately survive a lot. Life's good. Gamer Towns. You ever make a mayonnaise and jelly sandwich? No. I call it jam. Yeah, the delay's there just because, yeah, I have a really bad internet. I didn't put any, I intentionally didn't put any, stop spamming caps on. But I'm also fine to see where you take this. I am more to let people do what they want. I'm gonna have a little bit of merchandise with the TTRPG Kickstarter. But I don't have any online store or anything like that. Sorry, Gamer Towns. But like, yeah, I've been contacted by like a few of those plushie companies and stuff like that, and I really just want to do something good. So TTRPG will be the first time that you can really access merch. If you meet me at some comic shows, I do have stickers and postcards, but nothing available to everyone. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's no mods here. It's just me. It's just me looking at the chat. Though the chat does move kind of at a speed that it's. If it moved any faster than this, I'd probably struggle. Like it took me over an hour to catch up with all the questions. So something to think about for the future. Inspiration in Sea Zones? I don't really want to ask that specifically, but it is just, I don't know, just a bigger world outside of our own that is both scarier and calmer at the same time. Just like, just different sets of rules, and it's like, I don't know, it's also not solved. No one's telling you how to... I was going to say no one's telling you how to act in these zones, but I guess that's exactly what the videos are. But it is just, yeah, just freedom. Freedom. Just bigger systems outside of our own, and just like... I don't know, you can't travel and escape the world, but in the Intersea zones you can. Oh, thank you, Connect Kid. You don't have to do that, but that's appreciated. Oh no, the Kickstarter's not up. It'll be up probably March, but I'll confirm that at beginning next year. How long have we been making art? My whole life. Am I excited for Free in Series 2? I've not seen Series 1, but I've been seeing all the fan art of the character looking up, so I should get on that. Yeah. Yeah, making art's good. I do personally think the most value you can find in life is creation, like creating things. And like for me, it's like creative and making stuff. And for other people, like it can be having a family or just like a career or just helping people. But creation is you will find peace in life if you can make things. And you know, it doesn't have to be art. Like art is not the answer. It's just making things. Mitru? I don't. What is Mitru actually from? I've definitely seen this this raccoon around. B&A, brand new animal. Gotcha. That's what it all is. All right. I'm just doing a little one because I don't really feel like doing a bunch of pop culture stuff. Oh, there's a body already for her. A little unhinged. Could I print off some of your illustrations onto a one-off shirt? I don't care. If you make a Redbubble bubble shop with my stuff on it, then I would care. Not that that's what you're suggesting. But yeah, honestly, like, you know, if you were to like print off my stuff and like stick it to like a school book, like, why would I? Like, that's just cool. So yeah. End of the day, as long as you're not making money off my stuff, go nuts. You're good. Are you a big fan of Lewis Carroll? I guess I would say I am, even though like I've never actually read through his books, and I know there's like so many like Alice in Wonderland sequels. But yes, I love the idea of a surreal world with different just different rules and priorities going on. Absolutely. Panabera, making your own TRPG and want to put one of my characters in? Honestly, yeah, it's probably fine, but just shoot me an email if you just really want to confirm and make sure it's all good. But yeah, not a big deal at all. And also, if you're not selling it, then whatever. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, a lot of people use my art for their TTRPGs, for their homebrews and stuff, and it's like, yeah, absolutely, to do whatever you want with that for that sort of stuff. How do you think of details fit in the environment? I noticed a lot of small details and was wondering if there's a proper thought process behind it or like just like a vibe thing. I honestly, yeah, it's a little bit of a vibe thing, but I love a lived-in world. You know, it's when you got like cell shading with watercolor backgrounds, I think that's beautiful. But like, you know, when they're not going to be interacting with that, and I like it when a character is part of the world, not like here's a vector smooth background that the character can never touch. So yeah, I love making a feeling world, and yeah, I think that's good. How did I make my cute little PNG tuber? It's from a program called, what's it called? Via DoTube. I'll type it in chat. So it's a free program, and it's very. I mostly use it just because it uses really low resources because I'm using other programs. And I will turn off real quick. Sorry, one sec. Hey there. Okay, so I turned off the chroma key so you can sort of. This is all the software is really doing. Is it's just a character in the middle, and it detects my voice, and when the voice detects, it does the open mouth shape, which for me it doesn't even have a mouth. And the blinks are honestly just random, and it kind of gyrates around, and it's kind of perfect for what I'm doing, at least. But yeah, it's also free. But if you use it, swing the creator a couple of bucks. Yeah, it's great. You can even just set it up and annoy buddies on Discord with it too. Can I draw Sonic Shoe? I'm not. That's asking for bad vibes. That's like It's. You know how like everyone who's touched the medallion, something bad happens. But let's do it anyway. But from memory, I'm not googling any Sonic Shoe on stream. You mentioned you watched Adult Swim. What show specifically? When I was younger, the ones that like activated all the neurons in my brain were The Brak Show, C-Lab, Space Ghost, which is just the original lineup, which I feel like a lot of people have nostalgia for. But current day, obviously they got Smiling Friends Rules, Common Side Effects. Is that Adult Swim? That's probably been one of the best shows out recently. And I haven't watched Ha Ha You Clowns just yet, but that one's really, really good. Thank you, Lemon. That's appreciated. Canada government, we do not accept harassment like that. And I'm a Canadian citizen, so... do you think anything will come of BPOT? I like the idea. The idea was fascinating. It bummed me when nothing came out of it. I'd like to. Nothing. Unfortunately, nothing in the plans. But that would. Not that one. I would love that to be a big rat race movie where all these little factions are racing for the last escape ship and having like little alliances and stuff like that. But nothing planned. But I would love to. There is a theme and stuff for the TTRPG, but you'll have to wait. Do you have any favorite universes I created? I like them all, but Himbo Knights is pretty good. Canada government says I'm God and I've been given the wrench of God. I did give you admin powers, so don't mess it up. I know Canada government in real life, not to brag. I think that's Trudeau at the moment. for an April Fool's joke, you could do a post-apocalyptic thing, but the twist is that there was no big apocalypse and it just devolved into that. That would be pretty good. I do find I have trouble doing anything ironic in an animation, though, because people just don't get it. Well, not that they don't get it, they just don't care for it. Random question. What would be your opinion on... I can't pronounce that. Boitatata? Brazilian mythical creature. I'll have to look that up. Kanagawa says, I'm how he got his citizenship so easy. Can everyone in chat say thank you, Canada government? Yeah, I do know the entire Canadian government. Favorite breakfast, coffee, and bagel. Has anyone asked who my favorite character is? I think so, and I think I end up just answering different characters each time. I like Lou a lot. I like Duck Girl. Thanks, everyone. What is my least favorite character? Nasty David. I don't like Nasty David. Which intersea zone would you want to spend your time in and wait out an apocalypse? I find the basement, blaster bunker, and the hole in the wall the most comforting, personally. I like the 2:53 a.m. motel, even though that I don't think that's... It wasn't officially in the playlist, but that, yeah, that's my favorite intersea zone. Yep, Sonic Chew can go in a volcano. Thank you, Solus the Sun. Had there been any ideas for animation worlds you never got to or dropped? If so, what is your favorite one of those ideas? I don't know. That category doesn't really exist. There's just stuff that's just waiting until I find a way to make it work. I don't think so. Sometimes I think of like downtown city stuff, but it also just feels like I'm just some Australian guy. Like, what am I doing? Talking like telling stories in that sort of setting, but not really. Are any of the characters based on real people? Not really. No, I don't think so. Oh, hey, Snow. Yeah, I'm doing good. Snow DXC in chat does a lot of the Brazilian dubs into Portuguese, and did the cameo in the dubbing video. But everyone should follow them on YouTube because they do good stuff, and some of it's my stuff, so it's definitely good. I'm both drawing questions and answering art. I don't know why I was not consciously thinking when drawing this Nightshade, so I don't know why I swallowed them out, but Feels right. Am I secretly a messenger of Salinthal the Undying? That's a crazy question, man. You sound crazy right now. Have you ever thought about collaborating with anybody, content creators, or otherwise? Yeah, I'll get there eventually. I'm just enjoying my own space. But Snow, who just chatted, I've collaborated with them. So Snow got me to say some stuff in Portuguese, and they were incredibly patient with me because I cannot roll my R's to save my life. But yeah. That's not Nightshade, that's a whole tree. Yeah. Yeah, I use the default pens for a lot. Because I get a lot of people asking me like both Pinky Guard and the Himbo Knights is the base texture pen. Like that this is what I use to get my chunk. And I got other pens installed that I use. But for the most part, yeah. Standard G pen and the texture brush. Dream project would be, yeah, write, direct, storyboard. Write, direct, storyboard my own movie, yeah. Though I'd like to do video games, I would like to do TV shows, I'd like to do a lot of things. Oh, how's it been since like Brazilians have become aware of my work? I feel like on Instagram, whenever I post something, there's at least one or two comments I got to translate to see what they're actually saying. But it's pretty good. I had one person accuse me of stealing your stuff, Snow, as well, which is funny. But yeah, it's I definitely have a lot more of a Portuguese audience these days. I'd love to go to Brazil. I'll get there eventually. Once I make enough money to cover my rent, then I'll start traveling the world. Let's make him spread out of his shirt for some reason. Is there any foreign languages I know? No, I am monolingual. I am that white boy. I oddly would like to learn Russian. I really like the Russian language. The music is really raw, good. Do you usually draw with music? Yeah, I like music and podcasts are the king for working. Except obviously when I'm actually doing the editing, like the video editing part. I can't have anything on, but this is just generic YouTube music because it's all copyright free. I think I went to the YouTube music library and typed in lo-fi and then just favorited everything that came up, and it's good. It's nice as background music because you don't really need to pay attention to it. What is the favorite project I ever worked on? The TTRPG I'm working on at the moment. It's really good. How much time do I set aside for personal projects? This is the personal projects, so all. What if Nightshade it is? Do you think I should change the design? It's a bit cursed. But yeah, like I'm fortunate that I'm only doing my own ideas, so like I don't need to have a side project where I work on my own ideas. What's my go to Greg's order? Is that UK? What's Greg's? Yeah, that's a British bakery. Alright, I'm looking at the menu. Yeah, I want to accept all cookies. Savory. Oh yeah, I take the vegan sausage roll. That's my pick for Greg's. What's your favorite animation content creator, shorts or otherwise? Probably worth. At the moment, it's Voon. I think Voon slightly beats out Where the Kids for me. Yeah. Do I play any instruments? No, I'm not very good at rhythm and tone and stuff. So yeah, I don't play any instruments. I'm deficient in that. What's your normal workflow when it comes to drawing stories and videos in general? Just lock in and do it. I don't really have a particular like what I work on first varies a lot. So yeah. What do I do to pay rent? I am making just enough from YouTube and Patreon to cover my rent, and it does look like by the end of the year I'll be able to pay all my tax, and it'll be my first year as just a freelance content creator, I suppose. But yeah, that's how I pay my rent for now. Yeah. No, I really don't do much client work, to be honest. I'm usually a day job kind of guy. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind having kick around jobs. Because like, if I did a lot of client work, I would just get burnt out of drawing and stuff, and I'd rather save that for myself. Yeah, car can't have a sock puppet. Where did the idea for Cosmic Fizz come from? That was fully vibes. That's fully vibes. Yeah, just wanted to be a bit surreal. It's very quintessentially Luke, where it's like, here's these nuclear weapons going off, and someone lost, and they're just getting out of there. And mind my crudeness, but I usually don't draw them things, and some people do have them things. So I was like, well, let's just give them to everyone in an animation, and then there's no subtext there. But yeah, just vibes, you know. And that was mostly black and white too, so I got to just sort of vibe out. I wasn't like activating the higher functions of my brain on that one. I was just there. We've been asking a lot of questions. What is something you want to ask us? Ooh, that's tough. You put me on the spot. Without thinking of me in context, what is some media you guys would love to see in the world? What are the types of stories you'd love to see out there? To see anyone make. What's my favorite anime movie, 2D or otherwise? End of Evangelion, 100% my favorite. It's not, there are better movies, but it's my favorite. But then Mind Game and Night is Short, Walk On Girl are up there as well. How did I do the infinite zoom on the clown room? I made a bunch of PNGs with transparent middles and then just kept zooming them on each other. And out of all things in the world, that fried my computer. It blue screened it up. I had to like, it destroyed a RAM stick that I had to pull out. It like held up. I was doing an Inter-C zone every day until that one. And that one stuffed me up because it just broke my computer. So that's how I did it. It wasn't very... It's a bad way to do it. It is so resource heavy. You could do it with vectors and it would be a lot cleaner and smoother, but that's not really my wheelhouse. How much would you attribute to luck with your success, or did you know your content was gonna blow up? I never knew that. I never thought my content would blow up. So it is a bit of luck. But I also I learned what the algorithm wants. I do play into the algorithm. It sucks. It's just like a necessary evil. Like one thing I learned pretty quickly is you can't really do a slow burn on a joke. Unfortunately, just because Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and all that, you need to engage your audience straight away. And that's fine. Like, you just find how to work in that sort of ecosystem that is still satisfying to you. Like, you don't need to completely bend the wheel, like, bend what you're making. So, part of my success is that, yeah, I just learned what the algorithm wants. But, you know, I also learned stuff that I just kind of threw out. Like, Mr. Beast, all his stuff has to pass, like, a 3rd grade reading level. So instead of using a complicated word, he'll just explain what the word means instead of saying it. So like, I don't think it was business, but there was something like, instead of saying business, he said, we need to set up a place to sell our items for money. Like, it's stuff like that. And it's like, oh, that'll help you in the system, but I'm not going to engage with that. But other stuff like subtitles, I'm like, this is an extra bit of labor I got to do to put subtitles in, but it does make it much more accessible for everyone. So I'm like, all right, well, I can do that, you know. So you just kind of learn how to navigate that. I love we got them things celebration. That's great. What do I think of animated shows like Adventure Time? Yeah, it's great. It's. I'm so glad like Pendleton Ward and they did all that, and it really sort of helped an ecosystem. So it's great. I'm just gonna read some of the stuff people want. So we got a huge fan of Liches and Necromancy. If it's got undead, probably watch it. A Modern Wild West about settlers on Mars during a corporate expansion. Yeah, that'd be sick. Oh, more Dan fiction, please, and horror. I wouldn't want to see anything with space cowboys, purely for the vibes. Yeah, yeah, like I wouldn't mind like a long haul space show. That'd be cool. Truckers. Might be actually boring, but I would watch it. More whimsical stuff. Monster romance, science. Dragon's tired of people using AI in art. I think most people are. Which is a good thing. I'd love to see more creature-based media, stuff like How to Train Your Dragon and Pokemon. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Scavenger's Reign was kind of good for that, but that is more of interacting with an ecosystem than like individual creatures. Oh, I said that, but the next person just said, Ready Rex said, yeah, something with characters interact with each other in the environment like Scavenger's Reign. I love seeing stuff like that. Don't see it often. Yeah, absolutely. Space vibe with a sense of post-apocalypse going on, like Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, like bailing on Earth. Earth stinks and we all get out of here. That's cool. More fantasy and sci-fi stories that are based in USA and European folk lore and history. Things like Latin American Narnia. Yeah, absolutely. Aliens like to land in New York a lot. Homey, cozy space stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy and a long trip to a small angry planet is a must for me. That sounds cool. The underlying mild horror vibe. The place is such a vibe, but there's some underlying horror if you think about it for too long. Yeah, that's good. I wanted to ask, how did you get started with drawing and animating? How long did it take before you felt like you were making something coherent and good enough? Okay, that's actually a really good question, because there was definitely a turning point where I'm like, oh, I can actually vocalize what I'm trying to get across. And like, I still goof it up every now and then, but there was definitely a time where like most of the stuff I was making, it's like the joke didn't land because the audience can't understand the joke. Like it wasn't conveyed in a way where it was readable. So when I started doing all the shorts, it was probably like 3 or 4 months in, maybe even less. But then I'd do something. And I'm like, oh, I can see this. I can see how it works, and people are reacting the way that I was achieving the vibe that I wanted. So, and then I'll do a stinker after that. It's like, whoops, I lost it. But, yeah, 2 or 3 months, I think, is once you can like start finding your voice, and then you just keep refining it, and yeah. Do bats sneeze? Sure. I don't know. What kind of romantic story would I make? I don't know. I do like tragic ones. I do like a cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's all over. So I might do something that rips out hearts. Thoughts on Rain World? I own it on Steam, but I actually haven't played it. I played like 5 minutes of it, but every now and then I'll make something and people are like, is that the rot? Is that the rot from Rain World? And I don't know what that is, so I gotta play it. Beautiful art, lots of people love it. Same category as Hollow Knight. Beautiful art, lots of people love it. I gotta play it. Favorite game? Honestly, it might just be Minecraft. It's just it's the only game that I really come back to a lot. But I do love a farming sim. Zore42, thank you so much. That's nice. My animated dude is Veadotube Mini. Veado Tube. It's a free software. It's on itch.io. It's very simple. You just need to make 4 PNGs for it, and she's good. Could you draw your PNG as a logo, or a mascot, or Pinky Guard, or Nightshade? Nah, it takes too much to edit. I could, but I gotta open up a bunch of files, and I don't have everything set up. So maybe in a future stream, but not today. Ever thought of starting a Minecraft server with your fans? No, I I don't know. What happens when someone starts grooming someone in there? Like how do I moderate that? How do I stop that? It feels I that feels like a beast I can't tame. Um but maybe I should do more community things in the future. I should show off some of the Minecraft stuff I've built. But honestly, I usually do a server with friends, and then I build stuff, and then we move on, and it's just lost to the ether, and it only lives in my memory. Personally, more hopeful and fun media over edgy and pessimistic stories. Not every character world is perfect. I just want more sincere and feel good stuff that makes me feel hopeful. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of media these days that are preach is not the word, even the right word. It's just like awareness. It's like, oh, cool. You're teaching us capitalism is bad. And maybe that media is needed in the world, but it's you don't learn anything, and you feel like you're being talked down to, and yeah, happy end. Media is great as escapism. So just having a good story. Have I thought about selling merch other than TTRPG? So the TTRPG will launch some merch, and then I will figure something out. I can't run an online store here in Canada because of the tariffs and all this stuff. Just all the laws and rules keep changing, and you got to upload your ID to send a package to the US at the moment. So maybe with the TTRPG I'll figure something out. But yeah, nothing in the works right now. Favorite series on YouTube? Probably When Society Collapsed. Some of the other ones have a lot of potential. They just haven't had the space to move. I feel like When Society Collapsed is probably the most... because it's so melancholy in nature, it's probably achieving what I wanted to achieve better than the rest. Thank you, Loki. It's nice. Is Santa human or elf? Neither. It's the other one. The third one. Your favorite thing is when I do a loop and recontextualize it in the loop? I feel like I've done that too much. I feel like it's too cheesy. But it is fun when I can make it happen. With the Inter-Sea zones, I kind of let myself be like, it doesn't have to be anything too poetic. They can be just silly sometimes. But yeah, it is fun to change the perspective you thought you had 30 seconds ago. I have not heard of Lord Bungo. I apologize. What's my favorite cheese? Mature cheddar, something really bitey, something that's been aged for a bit. That's my favorite. But there is a lot of good cheeses out there, so. It's the main one. I went to a diner for breakfast today and I had an omelette with goat cheese in it. Goat cheese is also very good. The bunker was your favorite? Yeah, I like the bunker. I occasionally explore a VR chat world, and I love anyone who makes an escape bunker, a little refuge from the world. How old am I? I'm 40 years old. When Society Collapse has the vibes of a $7 on sale indie game that leaves in tears and changes you forever once you finish it. Oh, thank you. Canada government, what is your home address? It's in St. Catharines. Let me just quickly check it. Is there a deep underlying secret across some of your animations that no one has spotted yet? You can lie. I'm not clever enough to lie on that. No. I don't know if this is exactly answering, but it's I don't know. There's always a. I guess this is not a. All right, yeah, I'm rambling now, but I get a lot of wholesome comments on my stuff, and I get that, but I'm rarely aiming for wholesome. I'm not really about a feel good in that sense sort of guy. So I guess my theme is like, not everything's good, and that's fine. But like that's in there. That's not even stuff. Goat cheese, dude. Never had it. Any good? Yeah, it's kind of a stinky cheese, but it's really good. And if you broil it onto a burger, that's really good too. Who can hold their breath longer, polar bears or penguins? I'm going to assume penguins. They're always out there. I know they both get in the water, but yeah. Night Snow, it's good talking to you. Brie and cream cheese is good. When was the last time I cried up front of someone? Not this year, at least. Oh, I know. I'm not going to say it, though. Good question, though. Have you ever wanted to try and draw another software, like something 3D? Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I'm animating in Adobe Premiere, which is stupid. I need to catch up and learn some other programs, but I'm just so used to a quick pipeline with the way I do it at the moment, so I'm not too much of a rush. Who would win in a fight, a raccoon or a house cat? A raccoon. Raccoon don't care. Raccoon's got it. How much talent do you think you have? Would you recommend that someone continue learning to draw animate even if they failed or haven't seen any growth for a while? Yeah, just get out of your comfort zone if you want to find growth. Just do what you don't want to do. Like, you know, do life drawing, which I never want to do life drawing, but it's good. Learn to draw buildings, learn your perspectives, and how to draw your perspective lines. Talent ain't anything. Talent will hold you back. I've been drawing for like 20 years, and I've only like recently really found my voice in this sort of stuff. So yeah, talent, don't worry about it. And if you learn to practice and work hard, you will outpace anyone with a natural ability. So yeah. What's the weirdest play situation I've come up with an animation? I don't know. What people find weird in my stuff, I find surprising. So that's a hard one to answer. Wombats or kiwis? Wombats, yes. The brushes I mainly use are the default G Pen and texture brush. There's a lot better out there, but that's what I know. Luke cried when Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air. He punched his table and snot was running out of his head. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Justice for Jimmy. Yeah, I thought they were gonna get Fallon next, but Dystopia avoided, I guess. Add some colors to the sketches. All right, I'll do a bit. I don't think I'll. Maybe I will. I'll add some colors. Shoe size? That feels like a sexual question. I'm not putting my shoe size out into the world. Draw a favorite animal, Zach Carter? You did ask that earlier. Let me put that in. Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite animal. We're just gonna do a cat. Meow. Good night, Canada government. Thanks for the roads. Oh, I mean, have you ever been in, like, a crazy situation or like somewhere completely unrelated and just been like, I need to draw a cat with a gun? No, I don't know. I don't know. As I'm making stuff, everything seems to, it finds its place, so nothing feels weird. I guess it's ultimately all subjective, but yeah. Roughly how accurate do I look to how accurate do I look to my avatar? I do have a nose. It's fairly accurate. My hair's really long at the moment though. Need a haircut. Canada government's just going to bed. There's no anarchy. What is my bedtime? Alright, because I work on a lot of animations, I try to get up with the sun because it's just better. You just feel better if you try to get up with the day. So I try to be in bed by midnight. I don't care if I'm watching movies until 3 a.m., but as long as I'm in bed by midnight, things are pretty good. And if inspiration hits and I just want to stay up, then obviously, yeah, I just vibe it out. But try to go to bed by midnight. For your shorts, the series, where do you get the music for it? Do you make it yourself? I got friends in a band called Dazzler that occasionally do some music for me, but otherwise I get it from Humble Bundle. I keep an eye on all the developer software packages, and they're just music packs. And they're a little bit generic, which I kind of love because I can put them in the backgrounds of my animations and talk over them, and it's not a huge deal. That's where I get most of it from, but anything super specific, my friends help me out and make it. What size is your heart? 2 sizes too large. Do you think a pig and a warthog could have a baby together and the baby also be fertile? If you have the right can-do attitude, absolutely, 100%. Can I draw a wombat? Just a little one. They're wonderful creatures with the power to knock someone over or bite 2 centimeters into an ankle through pants and a boot. Absolutely. No, yeah, wombats rule. I can't remember what their land speed is, but they've got a really fast land speed. But they've only got so much steam in them. Like, I think, like maybe a 10-20 meter dash and then they're done. But they're fast for what they are. And they got the upside down pouches because they burrow. And they do square poop. And these are my wombat facts. How long is my hair? The back is like barely touching my collar, so it's not super long. I've had long hair in the past. So I can grow it out, but it's I don't know. It's nice being tidy. At the moment, it's winter in Canada, so having a bit of long hair is just a bit of extra insulation, which is nice. Who would win a fight, grizzly bear or gorilla? I feel grizzly naturally, but gorilla, if the gorilla's got prep time, the gorilla could win. Is there something you thought was normal growing up in Oz, but then realized it wasn't? Oh, there's definitely been things, but let me think off the top of my head. Hmm. I was a manager of a drive-through liquor store, and that's definitely not a universal thing. Given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest? Hideko Anno. Yeah, that would be the dream. Wouldn't know what to say to him, but yeah. Thank you, Kim McKenzie. Who would win? 2 bears or gang of 17 rats from your backyard? Bears, man. Bears are tough. What is an embarrassing moment in your life? Any you'd like to share with the... Okay. My mind automatically went, not telling that one, not telling that one. I don't know. I don't have a good one. Do I know what 6-7 means? I am an incredibly online person. Yes. Would you rather have a tentacle arm or a robot arm? The tentacle arm does all the things tentacle does, but you can upgrade the robot arm at the cost of you having to buy parts. I'd go for the robot arm because tentacles, they have muscles to like retract and pull stuff in, but to like you kind of just have to let it go loose when you send it out. So I want the robot arm for the control, and robot arms are like sick. So yeah. What D&D class do you prefer to play as? Cleric or monk? How do I get good at art? Practice. The annoying advice that you get from everyone that is sadly true. Practice. Do lots of small projects. Get out of your comfort zone. Dolphins good creatures or demons of the sea? I think they're fine in the sea. You're just doing what sea things do. Yeah, drive-through liquor stores. It's... You don't... You know, you take the alcohol home, but yeah. With all the requested drawing, could you add something off the top of your head? Most of it is. Like, I think everything on the left here is basically off the top of my head. I'll just sort of keep going with the coloring for now. Can you get a DUI on a bicycle? Absolutely. Which one of my worlds would I like to live in the most? Into sea zones. I'd just be going. Any interesting ideas that you're making in shorts? Yeah, I got my big idea list that I go through and like work on stuff, and there's plenty that are just like they just don't have a space in the shorts, and even stuff like if I wanted to talk about serious stuff like suicide or something, it's like I'm not gonna do that in YouTube shorts. That's not the space for it at all. Not that I have anything planned for that exactly, but yeah, nothing I can really like name off the top of my head. But there's plenty of ideas that are just staying in the idea folder for now. Do you have a favorite national park? I like Algonquin just because I go there a fair bit. But I haven't. There's a lot of American national parks I'd love to visit. Obviously, like Yellowstone and all that. But yeah, I'll say Algonquin just because I've been there a few times. Who do I think I'd be better off fighting? 10 wombat size Jimmy Kimmels or 1 Jimmy Kimmel size wombat? If the question's just who would I be better at, the Jimmy Kimmel. No, the 10 wombat size Jimmy Kimmels or 1 Jimmy Kimmel size wombat. This is just you said the same thing. No, you didn't. Sorry, I'm reading this backwards. 10 wombat size Jimmy Kimmels. Yeah, I'll take on the 10 little Jimmy Kimmels. I'll send them flying. How would you react if the big guy in the sky had to turn on the light for the moment? I'd be like, knew it. I knew it. On a scale of 1 to trout, how fishy has your day been? 1. It's been not fishy at all. Advice for someone who wants to be able to draw cartoons and animate, but currently sucks at drawing and not good. Haha, love your stuff. Your favorite artist, by the way. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Yeah, steal. Copy people's work. Explore. Try different styles. Make lots of small things. Get out of your comfort zone. And practice. Dinosaurs. Lips versus no lips. Feathers versus no feathers. They can do whatever they want, I feel. I'm not too invested. Whatever they like. How's the board game coming? Yeah, good. Like it's a TTRPG technically, but yeah, it's coming along. I've actually done a good chunk of work for it, and there'll be a lot more details next year. Mostly just once things are confirmed. What is the most expensive project that I've had? Like that I got paid for or that I put money into? Cause yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how to answer that one. Yeah, so I do all these solo. I no there's no one helping with I do all the writing, I do all the voice acting, I do all the I do all the work. So it's free but labor. Well, I won't convert the stream, but the VOD will just stay up if you really want to go through it. If you guys ever have questions, like you can just hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. I try to answer most questions. Who would win between Gorillas and Krampus? I think Krampus has magic. It's probably Krampus. Oh, stuff that costs me money? I don't really have... I don't have an expensive one, really. Like, I buy equipment. My Cintiq is the most expensive thing I've owned, but, like, there's never been a project that I've, really put money into. It's mostly projects that I've put time into. If that makes sense. Yeah, I played Magic the Gathering. I mostly just do drafts with friends these days, but yeah, I played Magic. Do I start with a character or find the story along the way? It just varies. They're all different. Usually just find what I want to achieve and like follow that, and it's like it starts with a priority, and then everything else kind of follows it. And the drawing you have here, which is your favorite, and which was the easiest for you to draw? I love these two opposite dudes. That's probably my favorite. And the easiest to draw, probably that wombat, or the avocado cat. Do I think hypnotism is real? I feel like it works if you want it to, and then I don't know, it's all the power of suggestion, but like, if you don't want to be hypnotized, I feel it's impossible. You got to be willing. And even then, I don't know. Honestly, probably not. Probably not. How did you start with voice acting? I plan on some voices for my next bigger project, but I feel so silly to listen to my own voice as a little kobold. Just get used to it. Exposure therapy. Just like keep doing it and editing your voice. Like you're always going to sound silly and bad to yourself, but just keep practicing. Something that helped me when I started was doing a lot more improv than scripts. I felt that like if I'm just riffing off the cuff, then it will flow a bit naturally, a bit better. But I'm also like, I'm not trying that hard to be a good voice actor. I don't mind having a little bit of a limit on that. My passion is the creation of the stuff itself. But yeah, it also helps if you just have like a more naturally sounding script. But if you're doing a silly kobold, then it's going to be a bit funny and that. But yeah, exposure therapy. Favorite Pokemon is Electabuzz. Helping the Wild. Oh, that's inspired for an architectural thesis project. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it is based loosely on permaculture stuff, but that really varies by location. But what I goofed up and didn't realize at the time, even though I should know it, is that mango trees are actually one of the worst fruits to put in a permaculture garden. They destroy the soil a lot, and I knew that because I grew up around them, but I don't know, I got too focused on like, I love mangoes. Let's do mangoes as the fruit in this permaculture garden. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, I was born in Oz. I am Australian. I just live in Canada. Chukcharu? Alright, yeah, I'll look them up. That sounds good. Do you let your friends or other people you trust look over your work before posting and use their feedback to improve your animated shorts? Yeah. I'm always sharing stuff with friends as I'm working on it. Sometimes I give them feedback. Sometimes I just... some animations are truly just a joke that I'm trying to make my friends laugh more than anyone else, so... Sometimes it is just for them, really. But yeah, I share stuff with people all the time. I don't think I ever put anything online before it gets released, but yeah. Oh, thank you for saying for the colors. Yeah, again, like this is a tech. I don't use this technique all the time, but I use it a lot. Where it's like you go really rough with the line art, and then you just color block the characters, and they pop out and they stand, and you just let the line art do the lighting and shadows and everything for you. Like just carry them individually. It's pretty good. Ooh. I'll probably end the stream once I finish coloring this, but it would be a shame not to finish this, so let's keep going. But if you have any questions, now's the time to get them out. Why am I such a cool person? Because you don't know me. I'm somewhat transparent online, but at the same time, I have a whole life outside, so I might seem cool, but don't meet your heroes, because I am a regular dude. I am just calm. What's my least favorite Pokemon? Charizard. Overrated. I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed how good the Charizard's PR team is, I think. Is Canada or Australia just a bunch of countries in a trench coat like America is? A little bit. Like, they're both part of the Commonwealth. Like, we're still technically under the monarchy, so it does help me when I do citizenship stuff. So yeah, we are weirdly a bunch of countries under a trench coat. Like, I lived in the UK for a while just because it was easy for me. And I apologize I didn't learn about Greggs when I lived there. Where do you get the inspiration for the post-apocalyptic worlds you create? It's just power fantasy, autonomy of time, and that's where it comes from. Structural collapse, nothing over your head anymore. Oh, Id Nightshade is so cursed. Dream project, write, direct, storyboard, and an animated movie. Well, I had a lazy eye as a kid, so it's honoring that. But I like it. I like having eyes of the goat. Middle distance. It's where it's at, folks. Yeah, I still find it relaxing to draw in my free time, even though, like, I work on it. Like, you know, you get when you, like, even just this or when I'm by myself, you just get to go loose. So yeah, I still draw for fun, even though I draw 60 something hours a week. Yeah. How do you get over voice acting jitters? Practice. And you can do it in a vacuum, like where you just record yourself and you edit yourself and you hear it. But yeah, just do it enough until you get used to it. And like when I record stuff, a lot of times I'll just read the line 3 times, and then I'll go back and be like, pick which one I actually like. So yeah. Especially when you do it by yourself, just feel free to just keep saying the line over and over and over. Any tips for dealing with anxiety? Not really. I don't really get anxiety, which is weird. I'm low energy. I get depression, but I don't get I never get too overwhelmed. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a lot for anxiety. I don't want to leave it at that. Let me think for a sec here. I don't know. Adopt a little bit of apathy. It's I don't expect that from people, but yeah, anxiety's hard. It's rough. Do I take much inspiration from the solar punk aesthetic? I do. My When Society Collapse is not solar punk, even though a lot of people attribute it to it. But yeah, no, like solar punk, it's it's the future we should be going towards or really be at. But yeah, I like solar punk. And a lot of solar punk games have come out and they've been really good, but none have quite. I feel like there's still there's a space to put it in. That's on a different layer. But yeah, solar punk's good. It does inspire me. No, I have not read Sword of Truth. I'll add it to the list. Though the list is getting long, so I don't know how much I can get through. But yeah. Have you ever shelved something that you were over ambitious on? Yeah, I was making like a corny dating sim at one point, and I was trying to make it something with that where it's just really cheesy, and I was going to use photos of myself as different characters. But I really didn't have time to work on it, and since then, there's been so many like tongue-in-cheek dating games now that I don't really even have a desire to make it. But yeah, that was definitely a project I abandoned, which is good. How do I keep it with drawing health-wise? I do weightlifting. It helps me. I don't know. It keeps my posture good. And the fact that I got a really sketchy style seems to help a lot too. But yeah, I eat good. I exercise. I meditate, which I'm not. I know meditation isn't for everyone, and I'm not gonna say you need to do that, but it helps me. And I know of all the mangaka guys who have died, so in my mind, the working these long hours drawing and stuff has to be finite. I can do it for a couple of years, but I can't do this forever. And that's okay. And I want to be here right now doing it, so yeah. How did you learn that software? Practice and just looking up tutorials. Yeah. With Story Clubs, I'm supposed to start working on my own series, so I want to know how you learn to write stories well, to be both impactful and silly. I feel like zooming in helps. You just really zoom in on a character or a location, and that'll help a lot. And yeah, you know, just lean into the power fantasy part of it. Like, just make it a little dream place, and just make it within the reality of the world that you're setting up. And yeah, I think that's a great place to jump from. Any wisdom you'd like to bless us with, wise one? I'll go back to it, even though I've said it a couple times this stream. Don't have such a big ego to think that you're the only one that likes what you like. Make what you want in the world, and you will find other people who like it too. You know, crush that ego, and accept that there are others like you out there. How do you deal with depression? If you don't mind me asking. Oh. Zooming out helps a lot. I don't know a lot about physics, but I am a fan of physics, and I listen to a lot of stuff. So I don't know, when you learn about, like, when you can zoom out enough, your problems look small. So when you think about the potential of dark energy pushing universes apart, and that there are eventually, like, the sky's going to be dark, everything's pushing apart, like, and then, like, there's no relativity of everything. I don't know, it just makes things cozier. So I feel the more you learn, the more you can kind of condense yourself. And that's really light. I'm not a professional. Go see a therapist too. That's also good. You like Canada or Australia better? You can be honest. I like living in Canada better. Australia has some beautiful natural resources and locations, but I like living here more. Uh, cool. All right, I'm just gonna go through the last of the chat, and I might call it. Has anyone asked about your favorite horror movies, shows, or games? I really loved Weapons, and I love I love a good horror movie that has like a the power fantasy at the end where you can sort of it all comes together. So yeah, I don't play many Resident Evil games, but I listen to a lot of lore videos, so I love the Resident Evil world because there's a nice sort of campiness to it. Yeah. You deal with anxiety through optimist nihilism? Yeah, exactly. Like, nothing matters, and that's all right. That's good. uh, yeah, maybe I'll do some writing about that. Like, that's not something I really have the words off the top of my head for. I haven't played Katana Zero. Heard some good stuff. I'll add it to the list. But no, I haven't played it, unfortunately. This is the third stream I've done, but yeah. And unfortunately, I'm gonna end it here in a second. What are the names of the funky-looking blue and green guy? Dipple and Piddle. That's awful. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, that's their names now. Will you ever make something bigger out of your cozy apocalypse? Ideally, yes. I got some things in the works, so it might take a little bit, but yeah, definitely. Have I read anything from Jeff Vandermeer? I think you might like him. Oh, yeah, I obviously know Annihilation. I have had people recommend his stuff to me before with the whole cosmic thing, but I haven't, and I should. Favorite anime movie? End of Evangelion. Love that your explanation for solving depression is to view everything as an eldritch being. We're all part of that eldritch being. We're the bacteria in it. We're all here together. Is there good resources that you know of that you would recommend for learning more interesting camera angles for animating and drawing? Honestly, no, because I've been trying to find some storyboarding resources, and I've been struggling to find anything that I found really good. So honestly, no, but just copy things from the world and get out of your comfort zone. I know I keep saying that, but yeah. And like, if you see cool stuff in movies, try and recreate it. And if you see stuff in the world, try and recreate it. But yeah, just look around you and just try and take note of what you see. Much. Thank you, Ready Rex. Thank you to everyone who said some nice things. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream now. But this has been really good. I do want to do some more curated streams. I just haven't had a chance to put stuff together because I've got a few. I'd love to do some really brief tutorials about some techniques I use that people are interested in. So that'll probably be in the future, and probably some more just different vibes things. I was thinking about doing a Sploware Island stream where I just just make up a bunch of villages that come to the izakaya, but maybe that'll be in the future. But thank you for everyone for coming out tonight. I'm not drawing a French girl. I'm wrapping it up. Sorry. What do I think of AI? AI sucks. A lot of people have put it out there in better words, and I won't get into it now, but yeah. I don't use it, and I don't have to, and I'm very privileged that I'm not being forced into my workflow like a lot of people are. So, yeah. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. This was really nice. But yeah, I'll post this up on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, good night. Sleep well. Bye.